It is Monday evening, and you know what that means. College basketball kicks off tonight. Penn State still can't beat Ohio State. The NFL doesn't even know what their own rules are anymore, and Joel Embiid is yet to play a game this year, which can only mean one thing. Kick back, relax, because there's going to be a lot of bitching, complaining, and debating because 609 Sports Talk episode 16 starts right now. And welcome in, everybody, back to another edition of 609 Sports Talk live here on Facebook. And, of course, we are always live over on YouTube. Always do us a favor. Go hit that like and subscribe button for us on all 609 platforms. We greatly appreciate it. And, of course, we are coming to you guys from Hamilton, New Jersey. This is the show that unites fans. And tonight, I think, is going to ignite a lot of freaking debate. And as always, we are your host, Sam Nelson. He is Tyler Adams. Mr. Adams, the weather is as unpredictable as the Eagles play calling. So how are we doing today?
The weather is as unpredictable as Nick Sirianni's fourth down play calling. You never know what you're going to get. 57-yard field goal, passing the ball on 4th and inches, tush push on a long 4th or 1-yard line attempt for PAT, 2-point conversion. My head's discombobulated. Can't even think.
Discombobulated?
Yeah.
But anyway, so look, we have the last edition of Hitting Home. It will be later on in the show. It will be the last Hitting Home for a few months. As everyone knows, baseball season is over. Winter meetings are in December. Not going to be much to talk about between then and now. So one last Hitting Home to hit the road. We'll talk some NBA later, some teams that are looking really, really good, some teams that aren't looking so good. We'll talk a little maybe college basketball in the middle of that segment as well, as college basketball kicks off tonight. I'm ready to watch Villanova lose because they haven't been a relevant team in like 3 years now since Jay Wright left. Of course, we'll talk. Of course, the one matchup I want to watch, Gonzaga and Baylor is until 11:30. So that ain't good. Yeah, I'm not watching that. That's not getting watched. That may have to get recorded. We'll recap some NFL Week 9. We'll talk some college football, of course. A big matchup between Penn State and Ohio State was on Saturday on Big Noon. Complete flop by the NCAA schedule makers, as per usual. But first topic on the show. Tyler, we have got a good old-fashioned two-way race for the NFC East.
We do.
As everyone saw yesterday, the Philadelphia Eagles narrowly, shouldn't have been this close, narrowly got by the Jacksonville Jaguars 28-23 on the Kobe Dean's end zone interception with about 1:37 to go. Eagles clinched their win, their fourth in a row, improving their record to 6-2. And, of course, the Washington Commanders defeated the New York Giants 27-22 as Jaden Daniels continues his hot play as his rookie campaign continues. And they sit atop the NFC East over the Eagles because they do have more wins. They've also played one more game than the Eagles. Commanders have yet to have their bye week. Yeah. So, Tyler, the question that I want to ask you, and we'll talk about both teams' games this past weekend, who do you think right this second has the upper hand in the NFC East? Is it the Philadelphia Eagles or is it the Washington Commanders? The floor is yours.
Well, before I go, I think there's a comment that needs to be read off there.
Dennis, I was hoping you were going to be here quickly. There you go. The wall is done. Birds flag. Got two Eagles flags, actually. Got one behind me. Bryce Harper, MVP. Baseball logos. Flyers banner, which will never get updated as long as I'm alive. And, of course, got some fills on there. I went old school NBA, got some Celtics and Laker love here. And for anybody who doesn't know, this is the class of 67, which was the 6 expansion teams that year for the NHL, including the Philadelphia Flyers, which is right down there. Huge shout out as well to the St. Louis Blues, Pittsburgh Penguins, fuck them, and the Minnesota North Stars, the LA Kings, and the California Golden Seals. So, yes, the wall is officially done. But let's go back to the question, Tyler. Who has the upper hand in your eyes?
So, I'm going to say, in my eyes, there is no clear upper hand. I think the Commanders have the more efficient offense. Not necessarily better offense, but in the terms of how well oiled they are with their coaching, their play calling, and their amazing quarterback play, they do, in my opinion, have the more efficient offense. Commanders did play yesterday without Brian Robinson, their starting running back, and the Eagles are now looking at a looming day-to-day injury for A.J. Brown. But I do think the Eagles have a better defense than Washington does. Now, Washington, they played well all year, all around good football, good coaching. I've liked what I've seen out of them. But the Eagles' defense is something that people have still been kind of crapping on, and you got to understand the identity of it, right? They've only allowed 155 points so far this year. That's the lowest in their division. That's the lowest out of anyone in the NFC West. And the only other teams that have lower points allowed are the Lions, Vikings, and Bears in the NFC. So their defense has been pretty damn solid because how many weeks have we seen Fangio's defense might bend a little bit, but they don't break. They don't break often.
No.
They
don't.
have to settle for field goals. And that has been the deciding factor for a lot of these games, holding them to field goals and our offense being able to go down and score and put up more points. I can't wait for this matchup to watch them both play because I feel like we haven't really seen two equally matched NFC East teams play each other in a while because the Cowboys, boys. All right, yeah, we trade games with them. We go 1-1 some years, but a lot of times,
maybe not this year.
The Eagles and the Cowboys play. Sometimes one team's more banged up than the other. That's going to be a good, well-matched game between the two. Yes, the Commanders, they're ahead right now. They played an extra game, so they won an extra game. Props to them. But this is a two-way race between the Commanders and the Eagles. I don't know who's going to win out the division. I think the Eagles have a pretty favorable schedule the rest of the year. And while we all know how we feel about the coaching, and we're going to touch on that more later, I'm still confident in this team when they're fully healthy. I'm going to make that note when they're fully healthy.
Yep.
That they're able to dominate and beat any opponent that goes in front of them. Now I'm waiting to see Mailata come back healthy. Fred Johnson gave me a scare. I didn't think it could get worse than Fred Johnson, but it almost got worse than Fred Johnson yesterday.
Well, if that would have happened,
I would have wanted to see Driscoll in there.
No, because the common sense would have just been Becton moves over and then Steen comes in. Because
you think
honestly, no, because that requires too much common sense. But real quickly, exactly. We got to get to these comments. They're flying. All right, hold on. Let me go back up here real quick. Zolt said it's the Commanders until the Eagles stop getting in their own way. Agreed. Dennis continues his Reed Blankenship hate, giving up plays yesterday. Dennis, you clearly did not watch CJ Gardner-Johnson play football yesterday. I'm just going to say that.
Yeah. We're not going to talk about CJ getting cooked in man coverage again.
Brian likes to compare us to a radio station who we will not be naming because they have no credibility, even though he listens to them religiously, and also was complaining yesterday that A.J. Brown being out will probably kill the team, even though he has the greatest head coach in the NFL in his eyes. But Georgie said, wait, what's on the wall behind George, it depends what you're talking. There's a lot of stuff behind me. Dennis, he's a baseball. Oh, man. Dennis, don't baseball card collection, mate. We'll be here for 10 years. We'll be here all day. Georgie then said A.J. Brown gets is back on the field. Cost me my fantasy matchup.
Oh, poor Georgie.
And Dennis says that they break when Blankenship blows coverage and lets Ingram get to the goal line and let Lawrence walk in the end zone. Oh, yes, because it's Reed Blankenship's job to make sure the quarterback doesn't run into the end zone, not the four guys rushing after him.
That was not – I know exactly what you're talking about. Reed Blankenship was actually playing man coverage on somebody on that play. All right, so he can't just go off his guy just because he sees the quarterback scrambling, because guess what? Quick pass, touchdown either way. Like Sam was saying, you need your D line to be able to seal that gap and not allow the quarterback to just run in like that.
What's up, Carol? Happy Victory Monday.
Another Victory Monday.
4 straight Victory Mondays. Anthony, Vikings have the easiest schedule. You play who's on your schedule. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. That's true.
Now, I like what Zolt said, because he is right. The Eagles have got to stop getting in their own way. And I know I'm going to hurt a lot of people's feelings, but you cannot sit here and tell me that you are okay with what went down yesterday. If you sit here and tell me that you are 100% okay with what happened yesterday, you are freaking looking up at blinders.
So let's run it back real quick to the first half of the game, right? Going into halftime, we had the chance to take the PAT, and we would have won up by 2 scores, right? They would have needed to score a touchdown and a field goal to take the lead on us. Would have won up by 2 scores. What do we try to do? Nick's the smartest guy in the room. He goes for he gets 2 flags that put the ball like the 1 yard line. Oh, send the offense out. 2-point conversion. Like what? Okay, I get it. We have one of the most overpowered plays in the NFL. But it's such a long 1 yard to go. I believe the first one they did, I believe it was in. I believe that ball crossed the plane, but it was just so piled up in bodies all over the place, you couldn't see the ball really. But the play calling and how many points were left on the board, it's unacceptable.
Yeah, I'm cool with going for it once here. Dude, at some point, you're literally just trying to make yourself look like you're smarter than everybody else.
Go on, finish.
Here's my opinion about yesterday. I really don't care what anyone else thinks about my opinion. Who made this cool in Philly, going for it and being aggressive? Who made that a thing here?
Doug.
Nick was trying to outshine the guy that he took the job over from.
Yeah. I believe it.
Nick was trying to say, oh, look what I'm doing over here. And it literally blew up in his face every single time. Now,
but then you get to 4th and inches, which Eagles analytics say, we know what play's coming here, right? We know what play's coming. You're pushing the tush over the line. It's going to work. From inches, even if they stop it, you're probably still getting it. You're probably still going to get it on 4th and inches.
Now, the one they did get.
They definitely did. That was a BS call. But I don't understand why we try to do a quick rollout shovel pass. Not shovel pass, but a quick rollout pass. Because that's the best play that's going to get you a first down on 4th and inches.
Well,
not your running back who ran for 160, not the play that has over 90% success, probably even higher on 4th and inches.
Here's the problem. You have one of the best kickers in the NFL. You literally basically said to him, we're not going to use you for basically the entire game. He only kicked 1 PAT and 1 field goal. Yeah. Oh, but when I realized I screwed up and now I'm only up by 5 points, oh, here, Jay, go kick 57 yards at midfield. Now I'm giving Jacksonville a good field.
Yeah, sorry we didn't let you kick the ball. sorry we didn't let you get any in-game reps, off of PATs the rest of the game, but we just need you to go out there and nail this one.
And I'm agreeing with Dennis. Yeah, the push is good when you have a healthy offensive line. You're down the guy who made the play great. Which, by the way, no disrespect to Cam Jurgens.
I think Jurgens is perfectly fine, but Mailata is a huge part of it as well. Literally a huge part of it.
Because if you can't go straight, when Jalen doesn't go straight, he always goes to the left. He never runs to Lane Johnson's side. He runs to Jordan Mailata. And so here's the problem, okay? You are lucky that this was Jacksonville. Because I'll tell you now, for the people that want this team to be a premier NFC contender, if you were playing the Detroit Lions yesterday, you lose that football game. If you play the healthy San Francisco 49ers, you lose that football game. If you played the Minnesota Vikings, you probably lose that football game. If you played any team that was made to win if they were coached the right way and weren't the Jacksonville Jaguars, 90% of the time, you're probably losing that football game.
I want to bring this up real quick. Everyone take a good look at this. The last pass could have been the other way, and we would have been screaming. And he's 100% right. I wish Brian was in here right now.
Well, if I was Nick Sirianni, I would beg the Eagles to give Nakobe Dean money because he saved my job yesterday.
Because if Nakobe Dean doesn't make that play, let's say even Travis Etienne was out there. He's a better pass catching back. Dean might not have got that ball. Now, also, you have almost the equivalent of Daniel Jones at quarterback for Jacksonville. Sorry, Trevor Lawrence. The stats just don't tell me anything different than that. So let's say, like you said, it was a different team, better quarterback. Let's say, Jared Goff. Oh, maybe even Matt Stafford. You see the walk-off in overtime?
Yeah.
Just throw a dime to freaking DeMarcus Robinson.
They're getting hot, too, now.
They are.
We'll talk about them a little bit later on.
I mean, if it's a different team, that's probably a loss. And with the critical mistakes and leaving points on the board, I definitely think if we were playing a different team yesterday, it could have been a loss.
It almost wasn't a loss yesterday.
It was. Now, Zolt brought up a good point, that there was a point yesterday where he 100% thought we were going to lose the game. You and every single other Philadelphia Eagles fan. And that was after they went down the field, finally scoring the first touchdown, and then they got the most bogus in-game NFL rule change that caused a quote-unquote Saquon Barkley fumble that was recovered for a touchdown.
No,
after
stumble,
that,
they called it.
The stumble fumble.
Fumble.
That play was atrocious.
So their reasoning was, after the contact from the defender, he then gathered himself, made contact with Dickerson's foot, which is what caused him to fall down. Now, I got a really good question about that play. What would have happened if he didn't fumble? What if Saquon Barkley got up and started running again? Are you going to allow him to still go?
They would have probably called it dead.
Oh, he's down. Yeah, down. Down by contact. Easily would have been down by contact. That play I still can't figure little to no sense of what it. Exactly, Carol. Whatever.
I mean, him getting tripped up was a direct result of him falling down. Yeah, he did stumble into Dickerson. It's kind of odd that he stumbled after his foot was being tugged on. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
That's really odd. But apparently he regained balance. After like a half a second after he gets his foot tugged on, he was able to regain balance into the back of his offensive lineman, and that's when he tripped. So you're telling me that he went down without any defensive player touching him?
Yep, just went down on his own.
Referees are atrocious.
We've known that. But no, the biggest problem with yesterday is that people wanted Nick Sirianni fired for this same stuff last year, and now it's okay because they're 6-2. That's fine. Look, first of all, I would actually give some credit to Nick Sirianni. I thought Nick's game plan coming into this game, thought it was fine. I really did. You know, the numbers show it. Jacksonville's rush defense is really good. With Josh Allen and Walker and Armstead, they got a really good front, and they're actually very good against the run. And I will give Nick Sirianni credit. He kept to his guns and stuck with the run. Saquon had, 160 yesterday?
Yep.
He was sensational. I thought Jalen had his best rushing game of the season so far. In terms of the timings of his runs, when he made his runs, I thought it was the best thing his best game running the ball all season.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was.
The 4th and 3 call early in the game, I love that. I actually like that one. I'm okay with the 4th and 3. The one that Jalen threw to AJ that Campbell knocked away. The only thing I'll say is Jalen waited too long with the football.
He did. And I was going to point that out as I think that was the only bad pass I saw out of him the whole game.
Not even that. The only other one made was the one that kind of overshot me that almost got picked. But luckily,
that one. I know which one you're talking about. Yes, that one. That's Mitty. If he didn't tip the ball, I think it would have been picked off if he didn't tip it.
I think it was caught still. I think if it bounces and hits, gets back into your arms, it's still a catch in the NFL these days.
Oh yeah.
I'm
surprised they didn't change that ruling either. Trust me, I didn't hold my breath. I didn't hold my breath after I saw that. I was like, "Oh, let's see what the refs can cook up to make this an interception somehow."
Yeah, right. But my thing is with this: the 4th and 3 call early in the game. Your offense in the first half, it was good. There was a few moments where they were a little out of sync. You're trying to show them you're confident. Go get a first down. Let's score here. And honestly, if Jalen just hits AJ closer while he's in the middle of the field, that's probably a walk-in touchdown.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with that call. People think, I can't be aggressive at all. No, there's a point here of being aggressive, and then there's being stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you're going to get the ball at the 1 yard line, 92%. Well, funny. We're all about analytics, right? 92% of the time. Do you know what play is accurate 97% of the time since 1989? Kicking a PAT.
Yeah.
And for all the people, it's hard to win in the NFL. Yes, so when you are having points given to you, you freaking take them.
Yeah, because a lot of games are won by literally under 5 points or less.
Yeah.
The Jaguars should know that because apparently almost half of their games this year have been lost by 5 or less points. So I think that's probably the only reason Doug Peterson is still the head coach there. Because while they're not putting up wins in the win column, they're not getting blown out.
Yeah.
But we need to talk about some of the more positive points of yesterday. Another turnover-free game, except for the turnover on downs. That happens. That's not turning the ball over. No interceptions from Jalen Hurts. 18 for 24, 230, 2 touchdowns passing, and 1 rushing touchdown, as well as picking up 67 yards on the ground for an average of 5.2.
And best rushing game he's had all year.
Yeah. Saquon Barkley, just doing Saquon Barkley things. 27 carries, 159 yards, 1 rushing touchdown, 5.9 yard average, and he also got 3 catches for 40 yards and another touchdown.
And a backwards hurdle.
And inventing a new move. I hope that's in the next Madden.
Yeah, hope it's in the next. No, because they're going to manage to glitch it. You're going to leapfrog like 8 defender. They'll glitch that somehow.
It will totally be a glitch.
That was, once again, and everyone thinks it's Bass Sirianni over here. I have given Nick nothing but praise for the past 2 weeks. You know why? And the fact that people like Brian cannot see this really is alarming to me. Nick was fine for 2 weeks because he stood up and got out of his own way. What happened last week? The guy on the other sideline who has, Nick, won this organization something you yet to do, something you had a chance to do and blew in the second half of that game.
Yeah. Yesterday, it really felt like he was insecure about himself almost because of the guy on the other sideline.
Yeah, because people think they all hit. Doug is still highly regarded in Philadelphia. Him and Howie were talking before the game. Doug Peterson, until something changes in the next 5 to 6 years, if it does under this Nimrod, and I will call him a Nimrod because, like I said, there's a difference between being aggressive and stupid. And what Nick did was stupid because it literally almost cost you a football game.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand how anybody is okay with being up 22-0 and only winning 28-23. You were outscored 23-6 after your initial drive in the second half. How you are okay with that, I don't understand. Against a team that you're clearly better than. You're absolutely better. You dominate them in the whole first half.
Yep.
The fact that we are okay with that is the annoying part. I'm all for winning football games. Yesterday, we won about 10 of those games last year. Ugly, undercoached, poor game management. We won about 10 of those games last year. But if you notice, what happened over the past 2 weeks? We were blowing teams out because Nick Sirianni just shut up, got out of his own way, and he didn't think he needed to do too much. Then, what happened yesterday? He's won 2 games in a row by 20. He's feeling himself again, and he gets in his own way. Nick Sirianni will be the only reason if he is ever fired. Now, look, I'm not saying you. Look, first of all, you're not going to fire a guy when you've won 4 straight. That's idiotic.
No.
But eventually, I'm just saying this. If the Eagles don't get to the NFC Championship game this year, they will be a conversation between Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman. And people who deny this are blind. They fired the last 2 head coaches within 3 to 4 years of their tenure. This is now, year 4 of Nick? If they don't get to the NFC Championship game, because I'm sorry, Nick has been handed the golden rainbow ticket. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Saquon Barkley, Dallas Goedert, Vic Fangio, one of the best defensive minds in football, Kellen Moore, one of the best play callers in the league, an elite roster, an elite offensive line, Jeff Stoutland. You couldn't get a better job in the NFL these days. And if they don't at least get to the NFC title game this year, Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie will sit down and say, can we win with this guy?
They will.
You can hate me right now all you want. Just remember something. I'm the one that predicted what happened in New Orleans. And look what happened this morning.
Yeah. I will say this, barring any sort of drastic, downfall, I think Sirianni's job, it's at least safe for the end of the season.
Oh, yeah. You're not firing the guy not firing a guy mid-season when you're 6-2. That's stupid. The Eagles will do that anyway. They've only fired one coach in season, and that was Chip, and that was with 1 game to go. And that's because that season was a disaster.
Yeah. It was way too late that they waited to pull the trigger out.
Well, yeah, because he got rid of every single star player you had. All I'm saying is, if we are not playing NFC Championship football in January, when you have A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, Dallas Goedert, and a top 5 offensive line still, and a defense that, in my opinion, has done nothing but get better every single week of the season. If you're not playing in the NFC Championship game, they will consider moving on. That's not me wanting him to be. Look, if Nick can go on to win 2-3 Super Bowls, I don't care. I don't want to go through another head coach. I want to find the guy that is a steady name. But do you know how you do not become a steady name? You coach like you did yesterday.
Yeah.
You were up 22-0. You had that team put to bed. Good night. No, you got cute. You missed every 2-point conversion attempt. You allowed them to cut back in the game, and look what happened. Now, look, the fumble, that's not Nick's fault. I get that.
Yeah.
But literally, then when you decide to kick it, you wait till the fourth quarter when your kicker has not kicked since the first quarter.
Yep.
The last time that he kicked was the first quarter on his 43-yard field goal, the one that Nick actually let him kick. You let him sit cold. And don't tell me, oh, he's not cold. Jake doesn't do the kickoffs anymore. Brandon Mann does it.
Exactly. So it's not even like he's doing kickoffs to keep him warm.
So Jake Elliott sat for almost 3 quarters. And then, in the guts of the game, when you're at midfield, I get Jake Elliott's range is 60. We make jokes about it. You're up 5 points. In the back of your head, you have to understand, Vic Fangio's defense has played lights out most of this game. I'm going to take a penalty here, take 5 yards. Brandon, pit him inside the 10. Vic, go win me the football game. No, what you did, you decided to spite everybody, because that's what he did. He made Jake kick that out of spite, like, hey, guys, look at me. I'm kicking it now.
You guys wanted a field goal all game? Here you go.
And then he missed it. And now you got Jacksonville at midfield, and they are literally a Nakobe Dean dropped interception away from losing the football game. Because I'm sorry, if he doesn't pick that, I really don't know if they win yesterday.
Yeah.
Nakobe Dean saved the freaking day yesterday. Because Jacksonville was driving down the field.
They were cruising. But then again, I mean, props to Vic Fangio's defense. Again, they got down the field, bend but don't break. They put the game to rest. But, it was nice the last 2 weeks when, we didn't have to worry about the defense having to go out there and put the game to rest. It was nice having those comfortable wins, being able to get the ball back and deal it down, end the game.
All right, so here's a little nit I just found on Facebook from John Clark. This is from Nick's press conference today. So John Clark writes, Nick Sirianni says, looking back on all the decisions with going for it and the 2-point conversion, he would not change any of those decisions. Of course you wouldn't. He says it is a lonely place when you don't convert a 4th down. It's not lonely when you take 3 points on the field too, though, is it?
No, it's also a lonely place when you make the decision to pass the ball on 4th and inches.
When you have a running back who's ran for $160.
Yeah. And one of the most efficient plays on 4th and inches, 4th and 1.
But wait, so listen to this part. He says he was doing everything he could to help the team win the game, and he says that those decisions are made with trusting his players. So, do we not trust the $20 million kicker we have?
Yeah. Do you not trust the kicker?
Because that's not trusting your players. I honestly want to try out to be a kicker for the Eagles. I will literally get paid to do nothing. Because the Sally Snowflake over here is just going to freaking go for it every time, then I'm fine with it. Like I said, I'm okay with going for it. I like to be aggressive. I thought the 4th and 3 early in the game. That's fine. I'm cool with that play. I like that. After Saquon, which, by the way, I don't want to score in the first quarter anymore. We look better when we don't do it. I don't want to score in the first quarter anymore. I want to defer. So kickoffs, I want to defer to the second quarter. The hell with the second half. I want to defer to the second quarter. I don't want the football the whole first quarter. The defense give me 2-3 stops. We're just punting it. I don't even care. I'm just going to down the ball 3-4 times.
Oh my God.
I don't want the ball in the first quarter. But if you look at that play there on 4th and 3, at the time, Saquon was the only one that scored. They kind of sputtered a little bit there. So I'm cool with that play call. Like I said, all Jalen has to do is step up, hit AJ 2-3 steps earlier. Bam.
It also didn't help that he didn't set his feet.
No, he did. That's the other thing I will say with Jalen yesterday. He did back foot a couple throws.
Yeah.
And when you back foot throws, they tend to get over on you a little bit. But still, Jalen once again didn't turn the football over.
Yeah.
Jalen
got out of the pocket when he needed to.
Yes. And what I like to see is he didn't look like a lost dog when AJ went out.
Yeah.
Now, update on AJ. It's a contusion, MRI, no structural damage. He will be fine. I'm assuming they said he's got a shot to play this week in Dallas, but with Dak not playing, I may just let him sit the week.
And even CD may or may not play. He's still questionable with that AC joint.
CD has a chance.
But let's see. Is he going to want to play with a backup quarterback?
The most Philadelphia Eagles thing in the world will be that we lose to Cooper Rush.
Who?
Now, the
Cooper
other now, what else that I've heard today is that there's a shot that Micah will be returning this week as well.
Really?
So, Fred Johnson's coach.
Oh, man. Can Mailata come back this week or no? Too soon?
He's not eligible yet.
When is he eligible?
He's got to miss 4 games at least. It
hasn't been 4 games yet. It felt like 6.
And honestly, I'm predicting he won't make it back for the Commanders game because that's going to be a Thursday night game.
Oh.
The short week, I don't see him coming back to Baltimore. But no, look, for anybody that is upset about this, if you want to say that we're negative, first of all, there is nobody that wants to win football games more than the two of us. I'm happy they won. And like I said, I am happy that I thought Nick coached a good game yesterday. I'm not saying he coached bad. There wasn't really a lot of play calls outside of the conversions that we're talking about, right? There isn't much there that I'm complaining about. Like, I was fine with those. I was fine with the 4th and 3. Hey, for once we ran the ball on 3rd and 17 and it worked.
I was shocked. I was like, all right, they're going to go for a pass here. Just don't turn it over, take the field goal. And they hand it off to Barkley, and he just walks into the end zone.
Yeah,
I was like, wow, I didn't see that coming. But that was the safe move. I was hoping that they were going to keep the ball on the ground because, okay, play doesn't work, take the points, kick the field goal. But it paid off.
Yeah, so I'm not upset about any of it. I want to take the points when they're available to me. Could you make the case?
The only other thing I didn't like about the play calling from Sirianni yesterday was when we were going down the field before the missed field goal, and we got close, but there was a penalty. Well, I forget which penalty it was that got brought back.
Yeah, again,
but it pushed them back, and then when they got pushed back, what does Nick do? He goes for the safe wide receiver screenplay. Didn't get us anything. Oh my god!
All right,
he has to quit it with the wide receiver screens,
especially when AJ's not out there.
Yeah.
And then, oh my god! And again, I'm not trying. The guy had a great game. What was Saquon doing? Gliding.
So he slid too early. But what he was trying to do, he was trying to play clock management.
That's fine. Get the first down first.
Yeah, get the first down first, then fight your way to the ground in bounds. He went down way too soon.
No, I get
what he was trying to do.
Here's the thing, though. Jacksonville still had timeout, so the clock's getting stopped no matter what.
That is true. Yeah. Even if you get the first down and go out of bounds, as long as you get the first down, you can still ice the game.
They're going to run it again anyway. We're averaging 5 yards a pop off these guys.
Yeah. So
there's
little moments that build up throughout the game that culminate to what the final result was. This is not all on Nick Sirianni. We're not calling for him to be fired right now. All I'm saying is his job isn't secure. Is it secure the rest of the season? Yes. He's not getting fired at any point this season. Are they if the season doesn't pan out the rest of the way they wanted to, then there's going to be a conversation on if he's going to be able to be the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Again, you have to be in the NFC title game. And that is not me saying if that doesn't happen, he's getting fired. I'm telling you how this organization is. If he's not playing in the NFC title game, they're going to fire him. I'm just telling you this right now. And I'm not, again, I don't want to go through another head coach. I don't want to have to go through all this stuff. Yeah, but what I'm telling you is,
I don't want to put my quarterback through another head coach, another OC.
Oh my god!
Because,
honestly, I think
we're just going to be treading water at that point.
I would think Jeffrey and Howie would basically try to tell the next coach, dude, can we keep some of these guys around?
Yeah, I would hope so. The only guy we know is sticking around Stout. He's not allowed to be removed off a coaching staff.
Him and Big Dom.
Yeah, Big Dom. Mm-hmm.
Well, while we move on to the other team that we're talking about here in the NFC East, the Washington Commanders.
Oh, man. Commanders.
Another win. Beat the Giants 27-22. Granted, Giants scored 12 points in the fourth quarter to make it a little interesting.
Yeah.
Jaden Daniels, 15-22, 209 yards, 2 more passing touchdowns. Noah Brown led the team in receiving with 60 yards. Terry McLaurin had 2 touchdown catches. And, of course, the Commanders' defense racked up a couple sacks and a forced fumble. So they continue their winning ways. And Bill Gould saying everything would have to go right to beat the Lions. Honestly, yeah. Everything would have to go right for the Eagles to beat the Lions because the Lions are a well-oiled freaking machine.
What scares me about the Lions is their dual-headed rushing attack, because that's the one part where it's changed week to week. On some weeks, we shut down the run. Other weeks, that's all they do against us. They run. That's the only inconsistency that we really see. The Lions, I'm not worried about them busting off a 50-yard pass on us. They'll work you down the field. They'll get some underneath passes from Amon-Ra and Laporta.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm not worried about a team just, dropping bombs down the field on this defense.
Yeah. What's up, Clint?
What's up, Clint? Are we sure the Bucks are going right now?
As long as Chase McLaughlin nails a field goal to send me home happy, I don't care where they're going. But again, let's back to the Commanders. Jaden Daniels, once again. He's another one who plays mistake-free football.
Yep.
I mean, he had a 128 passer rating this week on 15-22. So far, this is ridiculous. Jaden Daniels, as a rookie, 71.5 completion percentage, a 106.7 passer rating.
Wow.
That's ridiculous. To have a completion percentage in the 70s and a 106 passer rating as a rookie. Not to mention, he's got 13 total touchdowns on the year. He's 55 yards away from 2,000 passing yards on the year.
Wow. And I mean, Daniel Jones didn't play terrible for the Giants yesterday.
He did not.
He kept them in the game, honestly, kind of by himself. The help of some of his receivers, but he did a lot of the work himself on the ground as well. But Washington, it just amazes me how efficient their offense operates, and for them not really having that many splashy names. Like Noah Brown, 5 for 60, Zacchaeus, 2 for 48, Austin Eckler, 3 for 41, De'Ami Brown, 1 for 24, Terry McLaurin, only 2 for 19, Ben Sinnott, 1 for 12, and Zach Ertz, 1 catch for 5 yards. Like, they just get it done. The open man's the one who's getting the ball, because Jaden Daniels can extend those plays and dump it off wherever he needs to.
It's something new every week, and not to mention they were down their number one running back yesterday in Brian Robinson.
Yep. And they still had a solid day on the ground.
Yeah. So Bill Gould just wanted to say, oh, Carol, that's a cheat code. That's not even fair.
Oh, man.
Hey, you wonder how my day went yesterday? I got Caleb Williams and Jordan Love.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I at least have Baker going tonight. I already won, by the way. And I still have Travis Kelce and Baker Mayfield, so it's just icing on top.
Huh. Good for you guys. I need a freaking kicker to win me my damn week this week.
Hopefully, it should happen.
I swear to God if it doesn't. Unless they have a Nick Sirianni moment and just go for every single play, I think I'll be okay. So Bill Gould's just saying how good Daniels looks, and he also says that he does have Pittsburgh next. Now, that will be a good test for Jaden Daniels.
That will.
Because Pittsburgh's playing good football.
Pittsburgh is playing really good football right now.
Bill said that he won with 6 players on the bye week, and I dislike all you now.
Let's take a look at Pittsburgh real quick. They are leading their division.
Yeah, because we all predicted that.
And the Ravens are 6-3. Because, the Ravens dropped the game to Jameis Winston. Go Browns.
Not this week.
Yeah, not this week. But that's going to be a matchup to see right there.
Yeah. It's the battle of 2 very good defenses, and Russell Wilson's been looking pretty good. I can't lie.
I think the Steelers definitely have the edge defensively. They're gonna be giving Washington a run for their money offensively. And like you said, Steelers, they've been really good and really efficient with Russell Wilson at the helm.
Yeah. And no offense to Justin Fields. He was fine for those first, 5 weeks, but
he was fine. I think with the right coach and the right system, I think Justin Fields could still be a QB1. I don't think that fit's going to come in Pittsburgh, though.
You know where he needs to go? He needs to go to like a LA, sit behind Stafford with a McVay for a year. That's what he needs.
Like Baker?
Or go... Yeah, or do what Sam Darnold did. Go to San Fran, sit behind with Shanahan for a year. Justin Fields is still a good quarterback. He needs the right place. And a place, no offense to Pittsburgh, it ain't it.
No. It's just their system. It's not built for them.
Yeah, Bill, Pittsburgh's offensive line is banged up, so Washington may, but Washington's also without Jonathan Allen for the season, so.
Yeah. That's a huge loss.
You got to see how that works out. So.
That's why I saw Anthony earlier saying he's going to be upset if Washington doesn't make a move before the deadline. So, yet another team that might be, I don't know. That's tough. Maybe go check out one of the Bengals interior D linemen. I know, Sam. No. I know they'd be.
I don't need Washington getting their hands on Sam Hubbard or Trey Hendrickson. Oh, it's before. But while you're on that, I don't know if they need that. Do you see the year Dante Fowler's having?
No.
Fowler's got
Dante Fowler doing
6.5 sacks.
Seriously, wow.
He's having a career resurgence here this year.
Good for him.
Because, I mean, he wasn't great in Jacksonville. Then he went to L.A. for those couple years and actually had an 11-sack season. Then he went to Atlanta and kind of fizzled out again. Then he went to Dallas and he was okay. But this year he's up to 6.5 sacks already.
Wow. That's impressive.
Yeah, Dante Fowler's been really good this year for the Commanders. The Commanders also have a bunch of really good young players on their defense. Like another guy, Jeremy Chinn's actually been pretty solid for them this year. And, of course, they got Bobby Wagner, who
good old reliable.
Yep. They have Mike Sanistrell, who they drafted out of Michigan in the second round this year. I loved him coming out of the draft. They got still some players over there. They have freaking Newton, the defensive tackle they took in the second round out of Illinois. He's been playing a lot more since the injury to Allen. He's been playing pretty solid. They still got some pieces there in Washington.
They do.
But I think an edge rusher would help to pair with Fowler.
Yeah.
You got to get after the quarterback in this league. What have I always said?
When you lose out on Montez Sweat and Chase Young, Chase Young, he wasn't really doing much, and he's really not doing much in New Orleans either.
Who is?
Yeah, honestly.
Who is at this point? But no, I really don't. I'm not comfortable answering this question for the start of the show. I don't know who I like better right now because both these teams are playing really good football.
They are. And I think they both have their strong suits. Like, I really believe, I think the Eagles' defense is playing a lot better than Washington's. I think it's obvious on paper they're giving up less points. And just the way that Fangio is holding a lot of these teams to field goals, making them settle, it's been the key for a lot of these games. But then you look at just the efficiency of how many points the Commanders can put up. Like, yeah, the Eagles can put up 30-some games, but then they also have those games where they just can't. They can only put up like 20, 21.
Yeah. Speaking of defense, we got to talk about the great young secondary that we have.
Oh, my gosh.
So I want to give some credit for Quinyon Mitchell, because on the first drive of the game, the Jaguars threw at him, and they had an 11-yard completion. And that was it. That was the last time we saw Quinyon Mitchell throw to the rest of the game. Before the bye week, he was being thrown to on an average of 6 times per game. That has dropped to 3 since the bye week.
You think he's in conversation for Defensive Rookie of the Year? Defensive Rookie of the Year?
I don't know. His teammate's pretty good, too.
I know.
Oh, Cooper DeJean. And I loved all the people trying to say that was pass interference on 4th down. You can't have pass interference behind the line of scrimmage, genius. Oh, man. Cooper DeJean. You know you're good as a rookie when you're getting the Coop chant. And we ain't talking about Riley Cooper either.
Riley Cooper.
And big props. Josh Sweat, thanks for making an appearance, buddy.
Yeah. 2 sacks. Was it 2 sacks, right?
Yeah. Both the team sacks. And I think now CJ and Blankenship, neither of them had their greatest games, but if we're talking about middle of the defense, I think to end our Eagles talk has to be those 2 linebackers, Nakobe Dean and Zach. I've got more shine on my head than a light bulb. Zach Ball's got a clean bald, man. That man's got it's dying.
Sam, that's gonna be you.
No, it ain't. No, it is not. I'm still going over here.
Sammy Bomb.
Okay. But what do you say about these 2 that we already have? I mean, they have been really good.
They've been outstanding as a tandem the whole year. Something we have not seen in decades from our defensive side of the ball. Haven't seen not just one decent linebacker, but having 2 really good linebackers out there playing together. I mean, it's just another thing. Like, you can't hate on Vic Fangio.
Yeah.
You just can't. He's getting the most that he can out of Dean. He brought in Zach Bond. I didn't even know Zach Bond was going to be a starter this year. We thought it was going to be Devin White. And boy, were we all fooled, because White didn't even get a chance to start.
I'm not really upset about that right now.
I'm not upset about that, because Bond and Dean have been the guys. They've looked great all year, and it's elevating the whole defense as a whole. I think the only thing that you can probably agree on that's holding back the defense is the ability to get the pass rush there. Sweat got us 2 sacks yesterday. Where was everyone else?
And before yesterday, where's Sweat been?
Yeah, and before yesterday, let's see, Sweat on the year, I think, has maybe 4 now? Maybe more? He's at 5. He's got 5 sacks on the year.
You better go find those other 3.
It's actually been all after the bye week. Actually, before the 1 game before the bye week. So, Buccaneers, he got a sack. One against the Browns, Giants. Wait, what is?
Yeah.
Where's the Bengals at? Why is it not showing the Bengals game on here?
Did he have one against the Bengals?
Did he not do anything against the Bengals? Did he not even have a tackle? Why is the Bengals game not on here, huh?
Because he had no stats.
He had no stats. Wow, okay.
Oh, but see, that's the problem That's the problem, though, with Josh Sweat. I'll have a game like yesterday where he comes, which, by the way, I love the second sack, the stunts. Oh, good. Vic's ahead of the game with that. But that's the problem. We'll have that game from Josh Sweat where you're getting those 2 sacks, but then you're Cincinnati. Were you on the field?
Yeah, exactly. Didn't even register a tackle. Not even a half a tackle.
No, the only thing I remember at Cincinnati was the sack he missed that Burrow ended up getting that 20-yard completion because
and then he stopped running.
Yeah, exactly. But, the trade deadline's tomorrow.
Man.
I don't expect Howie to go quiet.
There's no way he goes quiet. I mean, the fact that Huff did he play at all?
He played 6 snaps.
6 snaps?
Apparently, he had a hand injury during warm-up.
Oh. No, that was a team called with interest before the game.
They said, don't play him.
So, wow. But then, if they're going to trade away Huff, do they already have something else lined up then?
They have to. They're not going to trade an edge rusher. And
yeah, exactly.
I'll tell you, he's only got 2.5 on the year. I think Nolan Smith has actually played pretty well this year.
He's played solid enough. He's not there yet, but second-year player.
Not every guy is freaking Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah.
It took, how many years did it take Brandon Graham to become productive?
Yeah.
It took a hot minute. I'm not knocking BG, but it took a hot minute for Brandon Graham to start playing well in the NFL.
Yeah.
So Smith's been fine. West's been good. They need one that is productive and consistent. Go get a Trey Hendrickson. Go get a Sam Hubbard. Go get a Zadarius Smith. But Bryce Huff, clearly, it's a whiff. And it sounds like, from what I'm hearing, Howie Rosewood is willing to eat a chunk of money to get rid of him. I don't think they want him on this team. He's getting dealt. I really think Bryce Huff is dealt before the deadline tomorrow. Because I get it if a guy, he has moments, but he just doesn't like being here. This guy looks like he can't play. He looks like he can't play the game of football.
Yeah. Hold on. No way this is real.
What?
There's no way we can trade for Trey Hendrickson. He's got 11 sacks on the year. Bengals are not parting ways with that.
Why? They've done it with...
Already at 11 sacks on the year.
Tyler. They let the best safety in football walk.
It's true.
They have yet to pay either of their wide receivers.
Yeah. And they let Joe Mixon walk, and they still couldn't pay their wide receivers.
And still, don't forget, they also got rid of DJ Reader, and their run defense has been terrible ever since.
Howie, make the call.
We forget DJ Reader's that damn good.
Make the call, Howie. Dude's got 11 sacks on the year and a forced fumble.
If you get Trey Hendrickson on this team tomorrow, I may be calling for New Orleans. And I ain't talking about the Saints either.
Yeah.
Speaking about the Saints, do we want to move on to our NFL recap of the week?
Yeah.
So, it's the Bengals. Since going to the Super Bowl, they've literally got rid of everything. They will do it for the right price.
And yeah, they won one game. That's cute.
So they don't care about their defense. They clearly don't. They don't care. They would rather have a draft pick than have Trey Hendrickson. I'm telling you right now. Because remember, wasn't Trey Hendrickson the one that threatened to retire because he wasn't getting paid by the Bengals?
Yes. So, what about with the moves the Raiders have been doing recently? They said they're reevaluating and restructuring everything. Does Howie make the call to see what Max Crosby's up to?
So that's going to cost you a lot.
It is going to cost you a lot.
That'll probably cost you more than what it would cost to get Hendrickson.
You think so?
Yes. And again, another name, if it's not Hendrickson, why not call about Sam Hubbard?
Sam Hubbard, he's got 2 or 2.5 sacks on the year.
Oh yeah, he's not.
I
Look,
just
he's
looked
not.
it up. So, I mean, if we're talking about Sam Hubbard, then honestly, why not just call New Orleans about Chase Young? He's on a 1-year prove-it deal.
That's the name I've heard.
You're not tied to anything. You could
No?
probably get him for like what, a 6th-rounder maybe, because the Saints aren't doing much. It's not like he's having an outstanding year. He's got 2 sacks on the year. But with the way that team's been playing, I don't really chalk that up to, him not being able to perform. I feel like if he's in a better system, I feel like he can get more production out of him. Got to be more than Bryce Huff, easily.
Chase Young is easily a better option than Bryce Huff. Though I want to believe you, but it's the Bengals.
Yeah, Bengals are unpredictable. But yeah,
Bengals
I do think they make a move. I think Howie's hitting the phones hard today.
Also, if you're not going to play Sidney Brown in dime packages, can you at least go get another backup slot corner? Because I cannot watch Avonte Maddox play football anymore. The dude literally was asked to play 1 snap, and he committed a pass interference.
Yeah.
The second he
and a
comes
crucial
on
part
the
of
field,
the game. Crucial part of the game.
Literally, Avonte Maddox is the definition of as soon as he's on the field, something bad happens.
He's literally a liability. So, like, we thought we were getting Avonte Maddox back as, like, just extra safety depth, and now we're back to having to watch him playing quarterback. And it's terrible.
Agreed. You cannot go it. No, I cannot watch. So, again, I'm sure they're just trying to get Sidney Brown back to where he wants to be physically. I mean, big special teams play yesterday.
Yeah.
Big fumble on special teams. Keely Ringo with the recovery. There's our 2 youngsters that we both love talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that gave Dennis a nice freaking excitement yesterday. Sidney Brown popping that ball out. That was great. But I cannot watch Avonte Maddox play football. And overall, even without Darius Slay, I thought the secondary played well.
Yeah. There were a couple of times Isaiah Rodgers got turned around in coverage. But
4th and 16. That's all I'm going to say. 4th and 16. You cannot allow a conversion. I'm okay with a conversion that is earned. You cannot give up a curl on 4th and 16 for 17 yards. You can't.
Yeah.
Like I said,
after watching that, we've had our criticisms on Darius Slay the whole year, but we've also said he hasn't played bad. He hasn't given up big plays.
But that's my point, though. Nothing on the field is my issue with Darius Slay. It's all his crap off the field that I can't stand.
Yeah, Mr. Nice Guy.
It's the tweeting your stats at the end of a bad game. It's going on your arch rival's podcast after and laughing about that's the crap I hate. Nothing about Darius Slay on the field is an issue with me. Darius Slay's actually playing at his age still quality football. And he's actually one of the leaders on that. He is the leader of that secondary because them young boys have been playing well.
Yeah.
But I really got to know, is James Bradbury still here? I haven't heard anything about him in months.
You're never going to hear his name. He's just quietly going to collect his paycheck, and he's going to be gone at the end of the year.
He must not be coming back now. We're in week 9?
I don't think he is. There's no spot for him. What's he going to do? Come in and take Maddox's job? Honestly, now, while that may not be hard to do, I still don't see an upgrade.
Not sure how much of an upgrade.
I wouldn't take my chances with that to save my life. Because guess what? At the end of the day, Maddox at least drew a PI, which still blew the play dead. Bradbury might have just got burned, and it might have been a touchdown.
No comment. But let's run through the rest of our games from yesterday. Baltimore continue to dominate. Wait, hold on. No, wait. Let me backtrack. Because I was talking about New Orleans when we were talking about Trey Hendrickson. I want to talk about the Saints first here.
Okay.
Saints officially relieve head coach Dennis Allen of his duties. He has been fired, and the Saints promoted their special teams coordinator to head coach. Tyler, are we surprised that the Saints fired Dennis Allen?
Nope, not at all. I've said it as well for the past few weeks. I said the only excuse Dennis Allen had was the fact that Derek Carr got hurt for a few weeks. But this game coming back with Derek Carr going up against the Panthers, this was your game to try and quote unquote bounce back.
Yeah.
You're not gonna win. You're not gonna win your division. You're not gonna make the playoffs, but you gotta at least beat the Panthers. And they failed to do that.
Yeah.
So that point, that was the final straw. I knew he was going to be gone.
Yeah, look, like I said, when I said that in the beginning of the season and I predicted Dennis Allen would get fired, I wasn't saying because of something like this. I thought the Saints weren't going to be that good. But we saw for 2 weeks when they were healthy, they were all over the place. Their offense was firing. Defense was playing good football. Week 1 was against that same Panthers team. They blew the Panthers out week 1.
Yep. And, like, it wasn't even a pretty game from the Panthers.
Hold on. Bill, if Sirianni gets to the NFC title game, he will not be fired. Jerry is too senile and hard-headed to fire Mike McCarthy.
And I'll say this also. I think there's going to be a plethora of head coaching vacancies coming up this postseason. I think that might be another reason Jerry hangs on to McCarthy for another year. Because he probably doesn't want to have to fight through all those candidates to try and get the best one.
Yeah.
Even though it might not be hard because it's America's team, America's favorite team.
Nobody cares.
No one gives a shit.
America's team doesn't even want to be freaking on the team.
But yeah, I mean, I feel for the Saints. Because, like, yesterday, Carr had a pretty solid game. 18 for 31, 236 and a touchdown. Taysom Hill got in with a rushing touchdown. Alvin Kamara ran for 155. And Alvin Kamara also led the team in receiving yards for 6 catches, 60 yards. They're banged up. They have Olave got hurt yesterday. They were already missing Shaheed.
Yep.
Like, they're literally down to their bare bones.
Now, hold on. Bill, I want to talk about 2 things here. First, you said the NFC is very good. And no, they can't back their way into the NFC title game because guess what? What happened yesterday? That's why I can't say that. Because of what happened yesterday. But if you look at the NFC, I mean, let's just look at the NFC real quick.
NFC's
go to the standings.
Solid.
Washington's good. Philly's really good. The NFC North is a bloodbath. You've got Detroit, Minnesota, and Green Bay all separated by, what, a freaking couple games?
Yeah.
The Falcons are 6-3. They own a win against Philly.
They do.
And then, all right, so if you want to say the West, okay, San Fran's banged up. Seattle's not that good. Hi, Gino. How about Arizona? They're in first place in that division right now.
Yeah, 5-4 now. 3-game win streak, just like the Rams. 3-game win streak. I got a question for you, Sam. And George, if you're around in the chat, do you think the 49ers can recover with a possible comeback of Christian McCaffrey for next week's game? Do you think they can recover and overtake the division again?
Easily. To the Niners. They easily can still do it. Come on. You think I'm going to trust a team led by Jonathan Gannon to continue this? Come on.
Yeah. Well, I'm actually not worried about the Cardinals winning that division. I think their only other competition is the Rams.
Agreed. Because just like we're talking about McCaffrey's health, the Rams are 1-4 because Puka and Kupp are on IR. Of course they're going to struggle because they can't throw the football. But you've got both of them dominating when they come out there.
Yeah.
Kyron Williams is one of the best running backs in the game.
He really is.
Their defense just makes plays still, even without Aaron Donald. They're not, are they that dominant? No, but they make plays when they need to.
Yeah. Agreed.
They are still, the Rams, when healthy, are a threat. And Sean McVay is still one of the best coaches in the game.
Man. And freaking Geno Smith, man. He was about, let's see, he threw 3 interceptions. If he didn't throw 2 interceptions, if he even had 1 interception, 21 for 34, 363 yards, and 3 passing touchdowns. Without DK Metcalf.
Okay. He's in last place.
All right.
Bill, I disagree. The NFC North is I think that division's really good. The only now, all right, yes. Can we say the Lions have the best record? They have the best quarterback and the best everything? Yes, but the Vikings are still good. I don't care what their schedule says. Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking going for it on 4th down and overtime.
What they were going for was their defense to make a hold and get the ball back for them again. And it just didn't happen.
Agreed. And then, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't Puka get thrown out? And didn't he get thrown out yesterday?
He threw a punch.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Purdy, I think Purdy is in the same conversation as Jalen Hurts. The less he has to throw, the better.
Don't you ever say that.
What? Brock Purdy has been a turnover machine since McCaffrey hasn't played.
I don't want to hear Purdy's name ever in the same sentence as Jalen Hurts.
I'm just comparing the situation. Hurts is clearly better.
I'll give you that.
That's not even a did.
But I don't want to hear Brock Purdy's name anywhere near Hurts.
Okay. Well, when both quarterbacks throw the football over 30 times, they lose a lot of football games because they turn the football over. All I'm saying is that when they throw the ball less, they're better. You got 2 of the best running backs in the game. Use them. Michael Parsons on his podcast, they was utterly disgusted with the Giants again. He's like, because of the Giants' stupidity, the league has to suffer because of Philadelphia.
Well, soon Jerry will make the same mistake. He won't pay him, and then Michael will come over and to the dark side as well.
Well, Bill, I still think that he will still be fine because he still has A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith.
Yeah. I mean, to go back to 2022, you didn't have Barkley then. Looked fine.
No, but Miles had a good year.
He did. But, I mean, Saquon Barkley is an insane talent. But let's not act like the other running backs that were asked to go in there. DeAndre Swift had a good year last year. Not nearly the year that Saquon's having so far. But he had a great year last year, regardless of what happened. And then, like you said, Miles Sanders had a great year in 2022. It's the offensive line.
It's Jeff Talon.
Saquon's loving this offensive line. He's like, oh my gosh, there's actually holes to run through.
I can run for a touchdown on 3rd and 17? Are you kidding me? I couldn't run for a yard on this in New York.
Thank you, Zolt.
See you, Carol. Have a good week. Thank you for tuning in with us as always. Carol. I'm not insulting. Oh my God.
I don't know if that was a response to what you said or to what Bill said.
No, it's to what I said. All I said was if they both throw the football over 30 times, it usually doesn't look good. I've seen Purdy throw 3 interceptions like that. I've seen Hurts do it. That's all I said. They are both in a run.
Throw the ball over 30 times with no interceptions and over 300 yards.
One this year. One last year either.
Oh, he had a couple games last year.
No, he didn't. We had like 2 turnovers a game last year. We're not doing this again, all right? God, I'm trying to. The guys are playing amazing football. You guys are crump. You guys are absolute crump.
Don't you ever compare Brock Purdy and Jalen Hurts in the same sentence.
I was comparing the situation.
You watch your mouth, Sam.
Okay. Well, actually, I can compare them because they both have something in common. They can't beat Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl.
Fair enough. Well, at least one was able to outdo.
Oh, well, one guy actually outplayed Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. The other guy, we ain't gonna talk about that.
Yeah.
San Fran, what do you do if you're San Fran with him? Do you pay him? What do you do?
I don't know. That's tough. Because, I mean, it's not like it's super easy. Oh, by the way, Sam, I'm not going to put you through this, but I found multiple games where he threw over 30 times for 300 yards and no interceptions. I'm not going to go through all of them, though. I'm just going to let you know there's multiple occasions.
He probably lost a fumble or two in that game, though.
Nope. There's a couple games where he had one interception, a lot of them with no interceptions. No fumbles.
Anywho.
But anywho, we don't need to go down.
Living in. No, we're not.
I know what you meant. All I'm saying is keep Hurts' name out your mouth when you're talking about Purdy Brown.
No, I was just saying. But no, what did we say about Jalen? You have to just commit to what you do best. I don't care if I know. Well, look, I know you have AJ Smith. See what you're doing now? AJ Smith.
You're combining. Are you creating a player?
Yes, it's the build of AJ Brown with Smitty's route running.
Oh my gosh,
that is a 99 overall in Madden. But no, if you I know you have AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, but the Eagles are always going to be a run first team, as are the Niners. They're run first teams. They run the football effectively, and that's how they win games.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. But all I was trying to say is that Jalen Hurts can actually get it done if he has to pass.
No, he can. I know that. I wasn't comparing the quarterbacks. I was comparing the situation.
But if you guys want Purdy to pass the ball 40 times a game,
then you're screwed. You're losing every time.
I actually just tried to find a game that if he ever threw for 40 attempts in his career, and he hasn't.
That's actually kind of funny.
Yeah, he hasn't. Not one game.
Zolt said they pay him, we laugh.
Yeah, I mean, that was a nice run.
I'll say, if they pay him, he better not reset the market. Because, someone's getting fired.
No. He's a good game manager. Which, honestly, we look back at the recent history of the 49ers, that's all the quarterbacks they've had.
Fair enough.
Good game managers.
That's fair enough.
So, I mean, you already blew it with a top 10 first round quarterback. I don't think they're going to want to go through that guessing game again. Even though there were a lot of better options.
Mac Jones is a better option.
Yeah. Oh, man, I thought I was going to see the Mac Jones revenge game that I made a joke about yesterday. Because Lawrence went out for, the one play, and Jones was warming up. Well,
yeah, because that's because Zach Bowen spearheaded him into the back of his head.
Yeah.
All right. You want to run through the rest of the NFL week, and then we'll move on to some college football?
What we got next?
Well, first game up on the docket. Already talked Eagles and Jags. Ravens dominate Denver.
Are we surprised?
Oh, no. My interest level stopped with Ravens dominate because that's all they do. Derrick Henry had his worst game of the year, only averaging 4.5 yards a carry. He only had 106 yards. Get it together, Derrick. Come on. What are we doing?
Only 106, dang.
Lamar Jackson just continues his torrid pace. 16 of 19, 280 yards, 3 passing touchdowns, a 158.3 rating. Lamar is just playing some unfreaking real football right now. There's nothing you can say. Lamar is just playing some unreal freaking football. And that's coming from me.
Mm-hmm.
He is just... He's unreal.
And man, got always credit to Harbaugh. He went from Joe Flacco to revamping his offense to conform around a different play style with Lamar Jackson and helping him evolve as a player. Just
Oh yeah.
all around. Great job what the Ravens have done.
Jim gets more of the press. John is easily just as good as a coach as his brother. He honestly may be better.
I mean, he won up them in the Super Bowl, so.
I mean, yeah, not only did he win the Super Bowl, he beat his brother in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Also, Bill's going on there. He's saying John Harbaugh is the best coach in the league.
Honestly, I think he should be a candidate for Coach of the Year.
Honestly, I agree with Zolt here. Denver was playing good football, and then they ran into the Raiders.
Yeah.
Big Nick looks pretty good. I'm not going to lie. Bo Nix has actually looked pretty solid.
He has. From my early criticisms of him, saying he stinks, he's settling in, and he's developing.
Oh, it's nice when you walk into having Sean Payton as your coach.
Yeah. Well, not if you're Russell Wilson.
But again, Russ was good last year. He had a really good year.
Because, like I said, I had to have him in fantasy for most of the year last year. He played solid.
Russ was solid. Payton just gets the best out of his quarterback. You know, Bill, I'm glad you said that because that game's coming up too, and I'll tell you right now, I'm going to hold my thoughts because I made a YouTube video about this a few months ago, and I'm going to hold my thoughts. But moving on to our next game, Bengals get some revenge. After losing their third consecutive home game last week to Philly, Bengals took out their frustrations on the Las Vegas Raiders 41-24. Joe Burrow. Speaking of quarterback, Joe Burrow's having a pretty damn good season, too.
He is.
27-39, 251 yards, 5 passing touchdowns yesterday. Chase Brown, 27 carries for $120. Mike Gesicki, Penn State alum, 5 catches, 100 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Trey Hendrickson had 4 sacks yesterday. Yeah, I'm offering 3 first-rounders.
Man, where are you pulling them from? 2030?
Look, buddy, I've had elite pass rushers and shit secondaries. Now I got a great secondary. Go get a damn pass rusher. And we have good linebackers. Come on, man. Put this defense together.
I can't argue with that.
And then the Raiders, of course, Minshew thing. I want to give out Desmond Ridder. Desmond Ridder's the best quarterback of the day because he threw that garbage time touchdown to Brock Bowers.
Oh, that helped you in fantasy, didn't it?
Saved my life. But not Joe Burrow. See, what you saw the Bengals do yesterday, that makes you feel better about the Eagles win against Cincinnati. Because look what Cincinnati can do.
They can put up big numbers. That's why I said that.
Yeah.
You might not like that a team can have like a 10-minute possession on the Eagles and go down the field. But if they have to end up settling for a field goal, that's a win.
Agreed. So if you're drafting a quarterback, that's what you want to do. You got to give him a head coach that can develop him.
Yeah.
Which the Raiders don't do either. They don't have the head coach or the quarterback.
You saw the shake-up the Raiders did, right?
What?
You saw the shake-up the Raiders did, right?
Doesn't matter. It's not gonna change anything.
They need to bring in a big name offensive coordinator.
No.
This offseason.
No. What they need to do is I know he wants to be a Raider for life. Max Crosby's not going to win you football games because Gardner Minshew is your starting quarterback.
Yeah, get a couple.
You have to take Max Crosby, reset your defense. You need to go find a quarterback. You have got to trade up in the first round or be bad enough to get a first overall pick. You need to find your quarterback.
You know where I think the Raiders are scared? What first round picks have they really hit on the last 5 years?
None, because they're never bad enough to pick in the top 5. Bill, if they get Max Crosby, then the Eagles better go get Trey Hendrickson.
Oh, man. Yeah, honestly, if that happens,
I may need to go get Myles Garrett.
Oh man.
If it's
Brian
if it's
tried
Garrett we're
to
talking,
mention that
take them all.
yesterday to me too, and I'm just like, I don't know how we're gonna get
Take
Miles
them all.
Garrett.
Take them all. Take them all. Hell, hey, you know what? For Myles Garrett, I'll give you an elite pass rusher next to him. I'll give you Bryce Huff.
Yep.
But
Watch Bryce Huff goes over there, just like gets 2 sacks first week.
But no, Tyler, I'm telling you, the Raiders have got to just commit to it. They've got to trade the house for the top 3 pick and get a quarterback. That's where the rebuild starts. An elite pass rush is not winning you anything if you don't have a quarterback.
That's true.
All right, Max Crosby's great. Max Crosby's not winning crap in Las Vegas.
No.
You have to go get a quarterback. It's never going to change. And you made a big move to Vegas, big stadium, all this, and you've hosted more Super Bowls than you've won. They have to go get, and then when you finally got a decent quarterback at Derek Carr, you get rid of him because your head coach didn't like him.
Yep.
For Jimmy Garoppolo, who then your star wide receiver didn't like.
Yep.
Who is now a Jet. Okay, never mind. You know what screams Raiders?
What?
Aaron Rodgers when the Jets get tired of him.
Oh my gosh, they would do it too.
Does it not?
If they miss out on another, if they have another first round quarterback bust, yeah, I can see it.
Now, moving on to the tank game of the century. The Tennessee Titans defeat the New England Patriots 20-17 in overtime.
What a boring game.
The only thing that I'm talking about this game, Drake May be something. I don't know for sure yet because he didn't have a great game, but I think Drake May has something. 8 carries for 95 yards, 29 of 41 for 206. Game-tying touchdown at the end of the fourth quarter. Did throw 2 interceptions. Did have a fumble loss, but I think there's something there. I think he's got something there in New England. And I'll give that Patriots team credit, man. They stink, but they play hard. Jerome Mayo's got that team playing hard every week.
Yeah.
Panthers beat the Saints. We talked about that already. Falcons beat the Cowboys 27-21.
Go Cowboys.
Yeah, what is going on? Like, what is actually going on in Dallas?
A lot of stuff is going on in Dallas.
That team just can't do anything. Their defense is terrible. Their offense is anemic.
Their defense will look better when they get Micah Parsons back. And I think Jerry Jones needs to realize how big of an impact that one player has for his defense. That could be a reason that the Raiders don't move on from Crosby. So I feel like he's kind of they're Micah Parsons. Like he's the heartbeat of that defense. If he's not out there, they might look like crap.
I think Matt Crosby's a better player than Micah Parsons, actually.
Really?
Dak did get caught in the sideline saying,
I saw that. At the end of the game, he said, damn, we suck.
We do suck. I'll say one thing, man. Oh, by the way, so we went from Jerry Jones saying that they're holding Zeke for something, and now he's a healthy scratch.
No, he was disciplined by the team. That's what it was. That's why he was inactive.
Really?
Yeah. So you go from you're saving Zeke to I'm pretty sure he said something. He called out the team or something recently.
Rightfully so.
Yeah. And then he ended up getting disciplined by being sidelined for a week.
Disciplined?
Yeah.
What is disciplining in Dallas?
I hope them Dallas fans are having fun. Not only are you not going to get to experience the playoffs, or a chance to even make it anywhere in the playoffs. Probably won't even make the playoffs at all. So no more first round disappointment, Dallas. We'll send you packing home early.
It's, Bill said he had Rico this week as his running back. Oh, God.
You must have had quite a few bye weeks, Bill.
He had 6.
Oh.
Well, Rico had a solid day. He had 12 for 75.
Yeah. Any touchdowns?
He had a receiving touchdown.
Okay, that's a solid day then. So I'm glad that worked out for you, Bill.
Captain Kirk, man, another really good game. 19 of 24, 222, 3 more passing touchdowns. Bill said he's 49ers and Steelers heavy. What's your thing with the Falcons, Ty? I think they're good. I don't know how good.
Falcons are one of those sneaky good teams because they'll have their moments where they won't look too hot, but then they'll have their moments like Kirk Cousins, like his performance against the Cowboys. 222 yards, 3 touchdowns. Darnell Mooney, 88 yards, touchdown. Bijan, 86 yards on the ground. Bijan's not always consistent.
Well, that's because they have 2 good running backs.
That is true, but let's see. How did Algier do? Only 6 for 18, so...
He did have a touchdown, though.
He did, but 6 for 18.
That's fine.
Pinch it for scraps at that point. But
yeah,
is Bijan Robinson kind of turning into a possible, like... I don't want to say bust, because he's still one of the better running backs in the league.
Oh, yeah.
But he's not really living up to what a lot of people thought he could based off of Texas.
Let's put it this way. I'm happier the Eagles drafted Jalen Carter.
Yeah, because that was the huge thing. Do we take Carter or Bijan?
Well, first of all, anyone thought they were like, well, there's a transcendent talent at running back and a transcendent talent at defensive tackle. Who will the Eagles take?
Defense.
Dude. Do you know the
GM linebacker? So they're taking the defense.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh,
Bill, come on.
That's crazy. I'm gonna keep tabs on that. Actually, I'm gonna see if that lives up to it.
Oh God, we're gonna keep up with this all year now. Moving on to our next game, the Bills hand the Dolphins their second consecutive loss since the return of Tua, 30-27.
So
Tyler Bass
down in Tua land, the offense is back.
Now the defense.
Another issue. The defense isn't so hot.
Yeah, if only you had Vic Fangio still. The only good thing that's happened in Miami is that Devon Achane is playing well again.
Yes. And I
needed it
out there with them too. Because most of started the year injured, didn't he?
Yeah. I think. I don't know.
I don't remember.
Josh Allen, another strong game, 25 of 39, 235, 3 touchdowns. Did throw a pick, but Josh Allen has had a really good year.
So, Sam, let me ask you, did you have Achane starting this week?
Of course I did.
How many points did he have?
29. I actually also, going back to the Falcons game, I actually started Darnell Mooney, too.
Oh, wow. How are you down this week?
Because I started DJ Moore over Zay Flowers.
Oh, yeah. I had to start DJ Moore, so I got what I could get from him. Not really trusting him anymore because can't trust that Bears offense.
Yeah, I think I'm out on DJ Moore right now. May not play him this week.
I wish I had a
Next one up, Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers go down to Cleveland and spoil the Winston party 27-10. The Chargers defense racked up 6 sacks and 3 interceptions.
Man.
It's not really something to gloss about. Herbert was sacked 6 times, too.
Wow. But I
Myles Garrett.
They ran the ball well. Chargers did.
Told you.
Nick Chubb is still trying to fight off that rust. He's not really finding his footing. I mean, he's getting the carries. I mean, 15 carries, you would hope for more. You would hope for closer to 80 yards possibly than 40. A 2.6 average. And who sat there and thought it was a good idea? We're going to, after Jameis's performance against the Ravens and the win, we're going to have him throw the ball 46 times. Who sat back and thought that was going to work?
Well, when you're down, Tyler, they were down by 3 scores, early.
I get that, but 3 interceptions, at that point, just run the football. Get the game over with. What are the Browns playing for? They're 2-7. What are we playing for? Tank the rest of the year. They still got to get defense. Get yourself a good draft pick.
Justin Herbert, man. I want to talk about that. 18 of 27, 282, 2 touchdowns. On the year, he's completing 65% of his passes, a 101 rating, only 10 touchdown passes, 1,700 yards, 215 average yards per game. Herbert has not been bad, but again, what did I tell you? Harbaugh is going to take the football and the pressure off of him. He is going to run the football, and J.K. Dobbins, have a resurgence, young man.
Mm-hmm.
Herbert's been good. But like you said, they have the role players at wide receiver. They need the guy. I mean, again, now this week it was a bunch of guys. Quentin Johnston, 4 catches, 118 yards, and a touchdown. Ladd McConkey, 5 catches for 64 yards. Joshua Palmer, 2 catches for 63 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah.
It's almost Jalen Reagor's on the Chargers. Oh,
I just realized that myself.
Somebody help Justin Herbert now.
Help them, please.
Help that man.
They're probably they're one really good receiver away.
Yeah.
From really having a very balanced team.
Their 5 is great. They're still in it.
I'd like to see another viable running back behind Dobbins just for, safety blanket.
Don't disrespect the Gus Bus.
Wait. He didn't get a carry in the game. Was he hurt?
He was hurt. Yeah, he's hurt.
Oh, he's hurt.
I dropped him.
Okay. That's why I dropped him. I didn't know he was injured. So I had a feeling they had someone, because I was looking at these names here and I'm like, I think they have another guy behind him.
Yeah,
they took the 2 running backs from the Ravens.
Dobbins has been good. I don't want to see Dobbins get ran into the ground.
Yes. But other than that, I mean, go get yourself a really good receiver. They might be chilling. You think they would look into T. Higgins? Because I don't think T. Higgins is going to get paid by the Bengals.
Oh, man, I got something to talk about in the NBA. So let's get through this real quick so we can get into some more topics. Cardinals dominated the Bears 29-9. I give credit, man. Jonathan Gannon's got that team playing good. Rams, of course, beat the Seahawks in overtime. We talked about that earlier. Lions beat the Packers by 10. I still question when Brian Branch was ejected. I still highly question that. I don't think that was a ejectable offense. It was a helmet to helmet. This wasn't targeting. This isn't the NCAA. And then, of course, the Vikings defeat the Colts in the Sunday night snooze fest, 21-13. Great job, NFL. What an entertaining game that was.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think that was worthy of flexing now?
Not at all. Real quick, I want to go back to the Lions and Packers game. So the Eagles played the Packers. Jalen Hurts threw for more than 145 yards against the Packers. Pretty sure.
Yeah.
I mean, Jared Goff had a good completion percentage, only missed 4 passes. But they got it done on the ground, which also the Eagles got it done on the ground too. Saquon ran, I forget his stats from that game week 1. but it was his welcome to Philadelphia moment down in Brazil. So I mean, the fact that the score was 24-14. I mean, yeah, they held Green Bay for less points, but we scored more against Green Bay than they did.
There was crappy weather in Green Bay yesterday too.
Yeah, which explains the running the football a lot. But I don't know. I think the offenses could be equally matched.
With who? Philly and Detroit or Philly and Green Bay?
Philly and Detroit.
That basically would come down to which quarterback makes a mistake first.
Yeah, it would. Because it's going to start off being a lot of running.
Of course.
A lot of running.
Basically, who stops the run wins the game.
Both teams have good wide receivers.
Both teams have great wide receivers. Amon-Ra is a great wide receiver.
Yeah. Then again, I mean, outside of Amon-Ra, what do they got? Jameson Williams is suspended.
He's been reinstated.
Oh, did he? Okay. I thought it was going to last like a few games. It was just
only two.
No, okay.
So he'll be back, but they still have Sam Laporta.
Yeah, Laporta, but Laporta equal to Goddard, maybe even equal to Grant Calcaterra at this point.
You did not just compare. Sam Laporta is better than those two put together.
I know.
Oh my God, you are robbed. How do you wake up every Monday and say, "What can I say to annoy me, Sam, tonight?"
Yes, I do. I actually do.
You're a crumb.
I mean, he's only got 300 receiving yards on the year. Laporta's not like breaking the world right now.
Yeah, because they run the ball 85% of their plays.
Good point. Dallas Goedert has one more yard than Laporta this year. And he's missed more games.
90% of Dallas Goedert's yards came against the damn Saints, dude.
There you go.
50% of it came on one play where Chris Long is yelling, "Run, white boy, run."
Yes. That is
By
correct.
the way, have we found a better ex-athlete being a podcaster more than Chris Long? Chris Long is so freaking funny.
Jason Kelsey.
Nah, Chris Long's better.
No, really, man.
I think I love Chris's game day reactions. They do lives of the game reactions. I love it.
Okay.
Yeah, I love it. Speaking of that, I want to talk a little college football for a few minutes here, and then we'll move on to some basketball, then talk some hitting home.
Yeah.
Well, Tyler, I'll let you take this segment away. I don't want to talk about this game. Don't. But I guess I have to. Penn State, once again, it's like the weather in January. It's like waking up every day and breathing. It's consistent. Penn State, once again, loses to Ohio State. Ohio State defeats them 20-13. Tyler, what are your initial thoughts on this?
Oh, man. It was a game of what could have been, because the pivotal moment to that game came before halftime. Penn State's knocking on the door. They go with a quick hurry-up play, run the same play that got them down in scoring position, and off of what I thought was still a good pass, ended up getting bobbled and ripped away by the defender, which was an amazing play. Incredible play.
Yeah.
Couldn't be upset by it. That's just great football. But what could have been if, they took some time to actually compose themselves, draw up another play, or run the football, You get that close, first down, run the football. Why not? It's not like it was fourth down, he had to throw it. If that was a fourth down interception, sure, whatever. You could have just took the field goal at that point, but first down, you're that close. What is Penn State known for? They got some good running backs. Run the football. Why are you trying to run the same play? Hurry up. It wasn't a smart decision. But that's really what turned the table, especially with it was didn't Ohio State get the ball receiving after the half? Or was it
Yeah.
Penn?
No, it's Ohio State.
Ohio State? Okay, yeah. So that was really their moment to kind of put themselves in the momentum shift of the game. And it was unfortunate because it looked like a really good drive before half. And from there, to give credit again to Penn State's second half defense, they played really good. But it wasn't enough because the offense couldn't get the ball down the field.
Penn State defense gave them the only touchdown of the game.
Yeah. Yeah, that too.
Look, here's where my issues lie with this game. Number one, yes, that is Gray Wallace. I don't care that he made that catch. He is your fourth best offensive player. You were on. He is.
No, I know. I'm laughing because the fact that when you're that close to the end zone, you don't have any play drawn up for Warren is inexcusable.
This is what drives me crazy about James Franklin. You had the ball at the 3-yard line. What? That play happens to Wallace, which, by the way, if I'm Penn State, dip into that NIL money, get your asses in the transfer portal after this year, and go get Drew Allar some damn wide receivers. Because Julian Fleming, if Julian Fleming couldn't make it at Ohio State, I want nothing to do with it. Him and Trey Wallace ain't it. Losing Keandre Lambert-Smith in the transfer portal last year murdered this team's passing attack because Drew Allar needs good wide receivers too. You can't. Eventually, someone's going to take Tyler Warren out of a game.
Yeah,
but
he still had a hell of a game.
Yeah, he still had 80. He was their leading rusher. He had 47 rushing yards and 47 passing yards. But look, when you have the ball at the 3-yard line and the ball doesn't go to, not once at the 3-yard line, but twice, when the ball doesn't go to Tyler Warren once in those two drives, there's a problem. The fact that the second time you had the ball at the 3-yard line, you went Kadron Allen up the middle, no gain. Next play, Kadron Allen up the middle, no gain. Third time, Kadron Allen up the middle, no gain. James, I think they know what's coming. The fact that Nick Singleton wasn't in the game for that, who was the better of the two running backs, is a problem. The fact that no wide receiver had a catch until that Trey Wallace catch is a problem. That is the difference between Penn State and Ohio State this year. Once again, James Franklin couldn't call a good game. He coached scared and conservative, and they have no wide receivers. Penn State will be, can we agree? Penn State's still a playoff team. They're going to make the playoffs.
Well,
but it's my confidence in James Franklin once again will waver because I don't trust him winning big games. And I thought for a split second, I thought that USC game was it. I thought that broke us through because even though they weren't ranked, USC is still a pretty good damn football team.
Oh, yeah.
Any Lincoln Riley team is a threat. I don't care what the rosters or the AP Top 25 say. Just when I thought I was past this crap. And then they get that pick six. Oh, man, I was going nuts. 10-0 off the blink of an eye. I'm like, oh, they jumped them. And then Ohio State got going. And Ohio State's offense, to be fair, they only had 2 good drives the whole day.
Yeah.
Tom Allen's defense is easily one of the best in the country. The offense is like the Eagles. It's being held back. The only difference, though, is the Eagles have wide receivers. Penn State doesn't.
Yeah.
Penn State has got to go into the transfer portal and find some wide receiver help because they are getting Drew Allar has no one to throw to on the outside. Fleming is too inconsistent, and Wallace doesn't create separation. They don't have a wide receiver that can go against elite level talent, and they need it. It sucks because their defense is great. I still think they're a playoff team. You have a chance to get back into the win column this week. You have your game this week against Washington coming up, which, by the way, is an 8 p.m. whiteout game. Biggest botch by the NCAA, how this game was not the Saturday night game. Biggest botch ever. But you have a chance to move back, get back in the win column. This is the problem always with Penn State and Ohio State. They will have a game. They'll lose to Ohio State. Then they have that mental game like, well, we're not good enough still. Can't let that happen here. You can string off 4 more straight wins again. You're still a playoff team because it's no longer that one.
If you lose to Washington, you're probably gonna fall close to 15.
Okay.
So you can't do, because if you get into that territory, it's the top 12 teams that make it into the expanded format. So they got to refocus.
Yeah, it's one game. I know
what?
who it was.
But they got a chance. They have a chance to get revenge on him. They might face him again in the playoffs.
I wouldn't want that at all. I'm sorry, but
well, hey Sam, if you want them to win anything, they're gonna have to do it. Maybe not right off the rip, but eventually. Eventually, they go there. They'll see him.
Let's go to the rest of our AP Top 25 throughout this week. Let me just go and back here because I believe one of our top 25 teams played on Friday, which they did. Boise State dominated San Diego State.
Make sure you
24.
Pause on Boise State. Because, Sam, you actually finally got to watch a game of Boise State.
The floor is yours.
And, we made the joke about Derrick Henry earlier, right? And he had a bad day, 106 rushing yards.
Yeah.
It seemed like Ashton Jonty was going to have a bad day rushing when we were watching that game, didn't it? San Diego State, they looked like they were keyed in on stopping that run. He only ended the day with 31 carries, 149 rushing yards, 4.8 yard average, and 2 rushing touchdowns. Longest run of the day was 35 yards. And he also tallied 2 catches for 31 yards. So, yeah. And they ended up blowing the doors off of them at the end of the game, 56-24. So they stopped him in the first half, but second half, he turned it on.
Is he going to be a top 10? Do you think, two questions. A, is he going to be a Heisman fate? Is he going to win the Heisman? And B, is he a top 10 pick in the draft?
So I'll answer the draft question first because I think that's an easier one. Top 10, if a team doesn't take him top 10, they're stupid. Because this is a guy that will literally change the pace of your offense, kind of like Saquon Barkley does. Kind of like Derrick Henry does. He literally reminds me of Derrick Henry with how aggressive he runs.
You know that, right? He's going to make a great cowboy.
I would hate that for him. I would literally
But, a Dallas team that has a terrible quarterback, terrible offensive line, terrible defense will take a running back. They will do it.
Yeah. And they'll run him into the ground first year. He'll probably have like 2,000 rushing yards. But then after that, it's just going to go downhill. But Boise State, they're looking pretty solid.
They are.
And as to answer the second part of your question, I saw a nice little article saying that Travis Hunter is still the favorite to win the Heisman. And I'm just looking and I'm like,
get off with this stuff with him.
Where? Because he plays 2 positions, cool. He's a really great wide receiver, and he's a solid cornerback. Guess what? A lot of cornerbacks can be solid in college. That won't always translate over.
Yeah, he's playing Cincinnati.
But you got a guy here, running back, who's looking to break 2,000 yards rushing in a season. Just dominating teams. And the reason you can't say it's the teams that he's playing because he did it against Oregon early in the season.
Yeah.
So that right there just takes anything away from being able to say, oh, he's only played terrible teams.
But Colorado played.
Yeah. What he's doing is unseen. Not seen very often.
Let's run down the rest of the AP Top 25 schedule, and then we'll get out to the new one. Ole Miss, set at number 19 this past week, dominated Arkansas 63-31. Number 21, Army, defeated Air Force 20-3. Minnesota upsets number 24, Illinois 25-17. Number 5, Miami defeated Duke 53-31. Cam Ward is still better than Shedeur Sanders. Go cry somewhere, Buffalo fans. Texas Tech upsets Iowa State 23-22. Oregon dominated Michigan 38-17. Kansas State was upset by Houston 24-19. Indiana defeated Michigan State 47-10. Georgia defeated Florida 34-20. Florida had them on the ropes in the first half. Louisville dominates Clemson 33-21. Tennessee defeated Kentucky 28-18. Every time Kentucky plays a ranked team, they take them to the woodshed. They take them to the last whistle. What about this one? South Carolina destroys number 10 Texas A&M 44-20.
Wow.
That's crazy. And then number 20 SMU defeated Pittsburgh 48-25. Tyler, do you have the new AP Top 25?
I can pull it up.
I sent it to you.
But I gotta look on my phone. Why would I do that when I have another monitor?
That's cute. So Tyler, when you're ready, read us off.
At number 1, we have undefeated 9-0 Oregon.
Okay.
Number 2, we got 7-1 Georgia. Okay. At number 3, we have 7-1 Ohio State.
Fourth.
At number 4, we have 9-0 Miami. I don't like that Miami's behind those two.
Yeah, why are undefeated teams still being punished?
Yeah.
But all right.
Number 5, Texas. They moved up a spot. They're at 7-1.
Whoopee.
Number 6, you got Penn State. They didn't drop too far. They were dropped 3 spots.
That's fair.
That's fair because you lost to the number 4th ranked Ohio State. That's valid.
Of course.
Number 7, Tennessee stays 7-1. At number 8, we have 9-0 Indiana moving up 5 spots.
Indiana's been really good this year.
They have. At number 9, we got 8-0 BYU. At number 10, we have 7-1 Notre Dame. They dropped 2 spots.
How dare they?
I'm assuming they lost. At number 11, we have Alabama 6-2. They moved up 3 spots. At number 12, we have 7-1 Boise State. They moved up 3 spots as well. At number 13, surprisingly, at 8-1, SMU jumped 7 spots.
Holy crap.
And at number 14, we have 6-2 LSU. At number 15, we have 7-2 Texas A&M. They dropped 5 spots.
It could have dropped a lot more than that.
Yeah. At number 16, we have 7-2 Ole Miss. They climbed 3 spots. At number 17, we have Iowa State. They dropped 6 spots.
Oh, that'll happen.
We got undefeated Army 8-0 at number 18. They jumped 3 more spots. Clemson sitting at 19. They dropped down 8 spots. Man.
That'll happen.
Mm-hmm. At number 20, we got Washington State at 7-1. At number 21, we got Colorado 6-2. They jumped 2 spots.
That's cute.
Yeah. Number 22, we got Kansas State 7-2. They dropped 5 spots. 23, we got Pittsburgh. They're 7-1. They dropped 5 spots as well. And we have Vanderbilt at 24 and Louisville at 25. They didn't change at all.
And that's our AP Top 25 for this week. And that really... That's nothing major. I like where Penn State is. They deserve to drop 3 spots. You lost to your biggest game of the year.
I really hope Boise State can maintain inside that top 12. Because I would love to see Ashton Jonty run it against one of these top teams. Again, I already saw what he did against Oregon. I'd love to see him do it to like an Alabama or an Ohio State. Hopefully not Penn State.
Yeah, please don't. Who are your Heisman favorites right now?
My Heisman favorites, everyone loves Travis Hunter, right? He's not my top guy. My top guy is Jonty. I think he's a
Okay.
dominant runner, the most dominant player in college football right
Okay.
now. My number 2, I would actually take Cam Ward, Miami.
He's my 1.
Number 3, I would throw Hunter in there because he's gonna get the votes. He's already got the popularity. 2 positions, spectacular talent. He's a great wide receiver. He is, and he's a very, very solid cornerback as well. But I think those are the only real guys in the conversation that are going to get the most votes.
I think Dylan Gabriel will get some too, the quarterback.
He'll get some. Oregon. Yeah, he'll definitely get votes because you got your team at 9-0. You got to get them.
Yes. My personal opinion, I think he may be in there too, ahead of Jonty because no offense, he plays the sexier position.
Yeah, which is unfortunate.
Yes, that's exactly my point. And I don't want to say that, but Gabriel's played really good football this year. He's played some really good football this year. But I think Cam Ward's just been the guy. I think he's easily my Heisman favorite. You want to look at these numbers, dude. 67.1 completion, a 175 rating, 350 passing yards a game, 3,146 on the season, 29 passing touchdowns. He has been really good this year. In his last game, 400 yards, 5 passing touchdowns. But Cam Ward's my Heisman guy. He has been amazing this year. All right. Want to move on to a little NBA?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts through the first 2 weeks of the season? What are some of the thoughts? What do you want to go first with that?
Oh, man. Let's see. Let me get my bearings real quick.
George, are you sure you want to put this in the chat? Because you know who you're talking to, right?
Yeah, George, are you sure you want to break this news?
Do you know who I am?
Now, on a side note, I'm extremely excited. I'm sure you are too, Georgie, for fantasy and personal reasons.
Yeah, right.
But he's being elevated off the IR to practice. Okay? Now, let's not act like this was a normal injury that he had. This was some weird stuff that was going on. I'm holding my breath until I see him suited up on Sunday.
Yeah. I hope he gets back.
Oh, I do too.
I hope he gets back because the Niners that's all they got. They just got to get as healthy as possible, and they're right back in this thing.
Losing Ayuk was he wasn't the greatest for them so far this year. Of course, after his holdout, wanted to get paid, talk about traded. He didn't perform the best, but him not being available at all, it hurts.
Yeah.
Debo is banged up. Now you got the other kid, Jordan Mason, banged up. Got a rookie out there, and he's still putting up numbers. George.
Uh-huh. But yeah, Tyler, I'll let you take over the next segment for the NBA. Where do you want to start?
Oh, man.
What do we want to talk about?
Either team we talk about that's leading their conference, the last 2 undefeated teams, they're both kind of teams that we wouldn't have expected to have been the last remaining undefeated teams.
No. So who we talking first? Where are you going?
Let's start with the Eastern. Let's start with the Cavs. 7-0. Playing tremendous defense and amazing offense as well.
They're currently up by 6 against Milwaukee with 6:30 to go in the second.
Man. Poor Milwaukee, all the way at the bottom of the barrel. Down there with the Sixers. They're holding hands together. Sorry, Sam. Too soon.
Okay, but there's a difference. My 2 best players haven't played.
Yes, you didn't let me finish. I was going to give you the credit that your top 2 guys are out. The Bucks, they're down Middleton maybe still?
Yeah. Well, Giannis isn't playing tonight.
Oh, okay.
But he has been playing. But dude, the Bucks they can't play a lick of defense.
Yeah.
That's what you get when you hire Doc Rivers.
Allowing 118 points per game. That's pretty high up there in regards to the teams. Even the Raptors are giving up more points per game defensively. They still got 2 wins.
Yeah.
So they're not looking the hottest. But hey, my Miami Heat are currently up at number 4. I know it's early in the season, so I'm not saying nothing.
Nope.
But they're 3-2.
They're still good. Dominant.
They got
crap
stuff
out of the Wizards.
Yeah. But, I mean, aside from whenever the Sixers get healthy and start to win games, because that will happen. They will get healthy. They will win games.
Will they?
Currently, the top of the Eastern Conference, albeit most of the teams are tied in record right now, it's looking about how we kind of expected. We didn't expect the Cavaliers to be at 7-0 right now, but I mean, the Celtics, we said they were going to be at the top. They're at number 2.
Georgie, that is an unfair fantasy basketball lineup. That is unfair.
Oh my gosh.
Except Curry and Giannis are hurt right now.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, but from what it sounds like, Paul George, it sounds like he's playing tonight.
Okay.
So there's one guy get back.
That's good.
Joel's going to get cleared. They'll probably get suspended because of what happened. But wait, can we pause? I want to talk basketball. Can we take a pause for a minute? I need Marcus Hayes banned from Wells Fargo Center. Because let me explain something to everybody. I get these guys. They're $1 million athletes. They get all these platforms. They're the most talked about people in the world. They're still human beings. So just to justify, and now I want to talk about this later, but I'm going to talk about it now. Jason Kelce came out, put an apology out for his incident. Listen, if you're a drunk college idiot and you're trying to get the attention of a former NFL player by calling his brother what you called him, I'm not going to repeat it. You're lucky all Jason Kelce did was break your cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
And in terms of Marcus Hayes, who I will name because Marcus Hayes is a reporter for the Philadelphia Inquirer and is the biggest joke of a reporter in Philadelphia, when you reference a man's son and his deceased brother, you're lucky all he did was shove you. I have no fault for what Joel Embiid and Jason Kelce did.
I'm not going to say nothing about it. I think they were both justified.
Because guess what? Look, I grew up, only child. I get all that. But if you talk about someone like that was just like my brother, better alone a brother that's blood, you're lucky all they did was break your damn cell phone. I got no issue with what Joel, and because people may like to say, like, oh, you hate Joel Embiid too. No, I don't. Anything I say about Joel Embiid, I keep on the basketball court. I'm talking about on court. What Marcus Hayes did is uncalled for. You don't bring that, you don't reference that stuff. I don't care how much your articles are struggling, which, by the way, Marcus Hayes, your articles suck, by the way. I've read a few of them. They stink. My goddaughter's 2 months old. She could write something better. And the whole Jason Kelce incident, I'm sorry, that's just ridiculous. I will say, though, Jason and Travis, because of their status, NFL players, Travis is dating one of the hottest friggin' pop stars of all time. Jason and him may want to consider some extra security when they go and do these things. Like Kelce's just walking through the crowd like he's one of the fans. I understand he wants to live a normal life, but you got to know who you are.
He's far past that.
Yeah, so you don't got to get. I ain't saying go hire Big Dom, but like.
But hey, Big Dom, what you up to?
Yeah, you're like, hey, can I take him on Saturdays? Is that okay? Can we share custody of Big Dom?
Share custody of Big Dom. Oh my god!
I know he lives in Nick's basement or something, but come on, I can take him for the day. Share custody of his. But no, I have no issue with how Joel Embiid or Jason Kelsey act because that's the problem. If that was a normal, everyday person, we wouldn't even care. But just because they're pro athletes, it's a problem. No, when you talk about a man's family, what do you want him to do? Tyler, if that was your family, I'm sure you would react the same damn way.
Oh, yeah. Same way.
So I don't take issue with what they did. I don't.
No, I don't see anything wrong. They'll Embiid, he'll be most likely disciplined just for the saving face of the NBA. Yeah. Jason Kelsey, I don't really think anything's gonna happen.
No,
it's Jason freaking Kelsey. All right.
Yeah. Now, but let's get back to let's talk some more basketball real quick. Where were we at? We were talking about the Bucks or the Cavs.
We were on the Cavs.
That team, they're playing some really good basketball.
They are. Yeah, I remember the last thing I was saying was how, the top of the Eastern Conference so far is kind of where we thought it was going to be around. We didn't have the Cavs at 1, but we didn't have them too far off. We had them around, maybe 4 or 5?
I had them 4.
Yeah,
I had them
4 or
4.
5. Boston, we thought was going to be leading the conference. They're 1 game behind. So the Knicks, they're up there 3-2. The Heat are also 3-2. The Bulls are 3-3. Magic 3-4. Hawks 3-4. Nets 3-4. It's early in the season. Everything's gonna change. Everything's gonna be close.
I don't know what the Magic are going to do without Banchero, though.
Magic are going to fall a little bit.
I watched their game against Cleveland the other night. They can't get anything going offensively without him.
Banchero is great offensively, and he's really good on defense as well. That whole team defensively.
Yeah, and he's basically been turning into their point forward. The guy's averaging 6 assists a game. They're kind of running the offense through him now, and that's going to be a really tough blow for the next 4 to 6 weeks.
Yep.
But in terms of the Cavs, if you're looking at the way Kenny Atkinson's coaching them, they're running more plays through Evan Mobley, which means Darius Garland is starting to become more efficient. Donovan Mitchell is still Donovan Mitchell. He still gets buckets. That team is playing well defensively. They were ranked 24th in pace of play last year. They're 8th this year. So Atkinson's got them out there running. Their wings, Dean Wade's played well. And they even got Max Strus back from injury yet. Wait till he gets back.
Can they trade him back to the Heat?
That's not happening.
Can I have him back? I want to set the Strus loose again.
That's not happening, buddy. Sorry. But and then when Dean Wade is back to the bench and Strus is back, they're going to just be better. And you can't find a better defensive front court than Jared Allen and Evan Mobley.
No.
They're just playing some unreal basketball. And like I said, they're defensively, they're playing great. Their pace is a lot quicker this year. Darius Garland is more efficient, and they're not making him be the sole runner of the offense. Sometimes it runs through him. Sometimes it's running through Mitchell. Sometimes it runs through Mobley. And Kenny Atkinson, man. Kenny Atkinson's a good coach, man. Everywhere he goes. Remember when the Nets were kind of in limbo before the Kyrie Durant days, which they were actually worse than when they were before them?
Mm-hmm.
But, do you kind of remember, when the best player was D'Angelo Russell?
Of course.
No, I'm serious. Kenny Atkinson had them playing well. Kenny Atkinson is a really good coach.
No, he is very underrated. He doesn't get talked about enough, but he's putting some people on notice this year.
And in terms of the Bucks, I got one thing to say. Doc Rivers. That's it. Doc Rivers may be the...
You messed up, Doc.
Milwaukee messed up. The Bucks, by the way, that game is now 69-53 Cavs. They just blew the doors open in that game. Mobley, 14 points, 2 blocks. Darius Garland, 22 points in 13 minutes on 8 of 10 shooting. Donovan Mitchell, 13 points. They're just, again, no Giannis for them. The Bucks' downfall started with the trade of Dame. And it's because, look.
Oh, yeah.
If you want you want to call me crazy, that's fine. Damian Lillard is one of the greatest offensive players in the league. He doesn't do half of what Drew Holiday did for that Bucks team. Nope. He doesn't defend the team's best perimeter players, doesn't play defense at all. Drew Holiday just was a better fit for the Bucks, and it shows because he went to Milwaukee, won a championship, and immediately goes to Boston and won a championship.
Yep.
Drew Holiday for the Celtics is what they wanted Marcus Smart to be. The only problem is Marcus Smart can't shoot. Yeah. So, yeah, Dame is the bigger name. Holiday was the better fit for Milwaukee, and that's why Milwaukee's not sniffing the finals since.
It's very true.
And then the Celtics, they're 6-1. They're just exactly what we expect every year. Consistency.
Yeah.
Jason Tatum's just that dude. 30 points per game, 48% from the field, 34 from three. Jason Tatum's just that dude. I hate him.
So the
damn good.
Celtics put together a great team, man. They hit with Tatum, hit Brown.
Imagine if they didn't fire Ime.
Oh.
They'd probably be a powerhouse. What other team did you want? Do you want to talk about the Thunder too, you said, right?
Yeah. those are the only two teams really worth talking about in the Eastern Conference. The rest of them are all just middle of the pack. And then you got your couple down in the dumps right now.
You gotta let teams get some separation and get some chemistry going. It's like I'm sorry, the Sixers. They're not going to play like a 1-4 team all year. When they get healthy and everyone gets back, then we're going to be good to go. And then I'll watch the games again.
Yep. Like right now, the Heat, they're averaging. They're only allowing 106 points, almost rounded up to 107 points a game. They're still one of the premier defensive teams. Not the best, because that's actually the Thunder. The Thunder are only allowing 97 points per game, 97.5. So they're playing outstanding. But if the Heat can work out their early offensive woes, get everyone playing efficiently, because that's the main key. People are playing well, but they need to play efficient as well. The efficiency is key, like the Cavs are doing. And another team talking about efficiency, the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're averaging about 115 points per game right now, only allowing 97.5. Playing outstanding.
The crazy thing about the Thunder is they signed Isaiah Hartenstein so they could take some of the freaking pressure of playing center off of Chet Holmgren. All Chet Holmgren's doing this year is averaging 10 rebounds, 1.3 steals, and 3.3 blocks per game.
Yeah.
While shooting 54% from the field.
Yeah.
What else is going on out west? Lakers are looking pretty
solid. There's a lot going on out there. Lakers are sitting at 4-2, but they're also sitting in 5th place. Another team, Sam, a team that we didn't give a lot of credit to in our preview. The Phoenix Suns are 5-1 right now.
Yeah.
They're playing pretty well. So are the Golden State Warriors at 5-1. I mean, let's see. What do the Suns got going for them? Booker's averaging 26, almost 27 a game. Durant's averaging 26 a game. Beal so far is averaging 17.
And he's hurt.
Yeah. He's already hurt.
Mid-season form, baby.
Oh, my God, he's already hurt.
Mid-season form, baby.
I see. He only played 4 games out of 6, so okay.
I see. He's a game time decision for tonight.
Oh man! But I mean, aside from that, they're gonna need Beal to perform out there as well if they want to keep pace in the top of the Western Conference.
You want to know who's actually like a really underrated player on the Suns right now? Tyus Jones. They really didn't Look, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, Kevin Durant. They are all good at one thing, and that is putting the ball in the basket, right?
Yep.
You need someone to run the offense. Get Tyus Jones this year for the Suns in 6 games, small sample size, 10 points a game, almost 7 assists, shooting 47% from the field and 37 from 3, averaging almost a steal and a half a game. That is a perfect type of point guard that they needed. Because now they don't need these three to run the offense. They can just do their thing.
Mm-hmm. And you got Yusuf Nurkic. He's averaging 8 points, 8 rebounds. I mean,
yeah,
that's a great role-playing center in the NBA to me.
Mason Plumlee's his backup.
Mm-hmm.
And then they've got one of the best two-way 3-and-D guys in the league off their bench, and Royce O'Neal, who is averaging 9 points, 7 rebounds, and he's shooting 42% from the field.
Yep.
So, the Suns are playing really good basketball right now. I can't even lie.
And then we go over to Golden State at 5-1. Shocker, Buddy Hield's leading the team in points per game at 22. Andrew Wiggins, 18.5. Steph Curry, 18.3. Sam's upset.
No. I'm not upset that Buddy Hield is having a... No, what annoys me is he is shooting... This is ridiculous. He is shooting better... He's shooting 51 point... He's shooting .516 from the field this year. He's shooting .517.
Wow.
He's shooting 51% from three. Last year with Philly, he shot 38, which isn't bad, but come on. Like, you have got to be kidding.
Hey, man, it's the Steph Curry effect, I guess.
Shut up.
Oh, man, that's crazy.
I don't know who they got their new run, jump, and dunk center, Trace Jackson Davis.
9
points, 5
points.
Dude,
wow.
He's shooting 80% from the field.
80%? And you got Jonathan Kuminga averaging 13, 4 rebounds.
Moses Moody's averaging 10. Okay. All right. Moses Moody's averaging 10 points and is shooting 51% from three. What is in the water out in California?
And this Brandon Podziemski, who's that? Who's Brandon Podziemski? Averaging 10.5? 5.5 rebounds, 4.5 assists.
Seems like their version of Josh Giddey.
I mean, geez, the Warriors.
No. I want to know what's in the water out in Golden State. These dudes are shooting threes like it's nothing. All right, I'm done. Draymond is shooting 46% from three.
Oh, no. Wait, Draymond?
You would think after losing Klay Thompson that this team would actually struggle, and they are actually looking pretty damn good.
They're thriving.
They are. And like you brought up earlier, the Lakers are looking solid. They're 4-2. LeBron and AD are both playing great. The role players, Hachimura and Reeves and Russ, are all playing really well.
Yep.
JJ Redick got them playing some good ball over there.
Yeah. They're looking good. They really are. I mean, geez, AD's leading the team in points per game at almost 32 and 12 rebounds and blocks and steals. The only thing he doesn't lead in is assists. That's LeBron. Like, oh, man. Lakers just doing their thing.
I'm a little disappointed in the Spurs.
They have struggled so far. They're not living up. I mean, they're 3-3. So, like, for the Western Conference, they're struggling. Eastern Conference, they'd be at number 4 or 5. So,
yeah,
take that with what you will. But let's see, what are they looking at? Wemby's averaging 18.
I hate the way it's either the way they use him or the way he plays. I hate it.
I don't know who is Pop cool with that? Is he just allowing that?
Pop's going to be out definitely for a while.
He's not going to be traveling on road games. He's still going to be doing home games.
Yeah, so
he has some sort of illness.
Thoughts and prayers out to Pop, man.
Yeah, Pop's one of the OGs. One of the greatest coaches. But I would like to see Chris Paul average more. He's only getting them like 12 points a game. I mean, from what we've seen Paul do, I mean, I guess, but like, who else is putting up points like that? I'm used to seeing like Chris Paul averaging like 15 with like 8 assists.
Dude, he's 37. What do you want to do?
Put the ball in hoop.
Put the ball in hoop. All I'll say is I hate the fact that I watched the game where Victor Wembanyama attempted 19 shots and 12 of them were threes. I hate that. Dude, you're a foot taller than everybody else.
Yeah.
I can't stand that. But, yeah, some pleasant surprises in the NBA. Cavs look really good. They are currently up 73-60 at halftime. The Warriors are looking good. They're up 45-34 in their game against the Wizards. The Lakers are actually down by 12 to the Pistons.
Really? Wow. I mean, the Mavs and the Grizzlies are looking good as well so far. Mavs are at 4-2. Memphis is at 4-3.
Yeah. The Grizzlies have looked good. The Grizzlies just got to make sure that everyone's healthy.
Yes.
Like,
and available.
Desmond Bane's out right now. Marcus Smart is out right now.
Yeah, Bane was playing good for them, too. He was averaging almost 19.
Yeah, and Marcus Smart doing his normal 5 points per game.
Marcus Smart. How many three-pointers is he attempting every game?
He's shooting 60%, not many.
Oh. Man.
But yeah, it's pleasant. And like I said, the Sixers, they got to get healthy. That's all they got to do. Get Embiid and George on the floor, and let's see what this team can do. And everyone's mad. Oh, well, all the role players look like crap. Yeah, because they're all taking 12 to 15 shots.
Because they're being asked to not be role players and step it up. There's a reason you call them role players.
I'm watching Caleb Martin ISO against guys.
Oh, no.
I'm pretty sure you
that.
No. This is not the Celtics nor the playoffs.
You're not there yet.
No.
Maybe you can get some Caleb Martin ISO in the playoffs.
I'm fine. Caleb's fine. I'm not worried about Caleb. I'm not worried about any of the role players. I think Drummond's been solid. Eric Gordon's looked pretty damn good at 100 years old.
100 years old.
Dude, he's like a 50. I mean, he's averaging 7 points per game so far. He's been solid. He's nothing great, but Lowry's been good. Jared McCain, the kid they took out of Duke, he had a really good game against Memphis. But Oubre's look fine. They're fine. They got to get their 2 best players on the court, and then we'll be chilling.
Yeah, I mean, Maxey's doing his thing. He's trying to hold it down while they're gone.
He's had a rough start shooting, but again, he's literally being asked to do everything.
Yeah. If he has some help, he'll be a little more efficient.
But now, any other NBA things you want to talk about before we head to the final segment?
No, that's about it.
All right. Mr. Adams, would you like to hit the overlay for me, since my computer wants to act up?
Uh-oh. You're asking a lot for me here.
It's not that hard.
It is time, ladies and gentlemen, for the segment brought to you by Sammy Cakes, Hitting Home.
Thank you so much. But anyway, welcome everybody to the final. Now, it was a short segment because 609 just came back late this summer. It is time for the final hitting home of the 2024 baseball season. And the first thing we want to say is congratulations to those damn Los Angeles Dodgers. The LA Dodgers are the 2024 World Series champions. Now, granted, I know everyone said, oh, it was bad for baseball. No, it's not. You know what? You know who says this is what I've learned. You know who says this was bad for baseball? The fans of teams who weren't in it.
Yep.
It's good for baseball when your team's in it.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not good when your team's not in it. So, I do want to give a big congratulations to the Dodgers. Freddie Freeman, one of my all-time favorite players. Mookie Betts. Fun fact about Mookie Betts, he is the only baseball player active with 3 World Series rings. That is the fun fact I found out about Mookie Betts. The only active player in baseball with at least 3 rings.
Wow.
It's really good that a team didn't draft him, develop him, and then trade him. Oh, hi, Boston. Real smart one, that one. But same thing with Freddie Freeman. Nice going, Atlanta. But the one thing I always want to continue to say about the Dodgers, I know people like to say that their star-ridden talent is the only reason they win. I got to give this Dodger team credit. This team won because they got contributions from roster spot 1 to 25 or 26. I forget how many roster spots you're allowed in baseball now. Shohei Ohtani did not have a good World Series. He had 2 hits the entire series. Freddie Freeman, the World Series MVP, 4 home runs in a row in 4 consecutive games. Going back to the 2021 World Series from when he played, he had a stretch of 6 consecutive World Series games with a home run. And this is on a bad ankle to where he could barely walk in the playoffs. He missed games against the Padres and the Mets. He was in a boot most of the freaking postseason after games. Hell, the one game he tried to play with an NFL offensive lineman tape job on his ankle. So Freddie Freeman, man, is a warrior. The Dodgers had 2.5 starting pitchers healthy. Jack Flaherty, Yamamoto, and whatever was left of Walker Buehler, and their bullpen. And they gutted out that World Series. Walker Buehler actually closed out the game to win it in New York. The Dodgers were resilient, and they got contributions from everybody in this postseason. Shohei, Betts, Freeman. Here's one for you. Tommy Edman, right? You guys are still on. How am I supposed to get my guys on air if we are all watching you still? Hey, look, I'm sorry that we're good quality. Okay, I'm sorry.
Dual screen, Georgie.
I didn't want to duel with the dueling aces tonight, but I'm sorry. But I will say, the way that Dave Roberts, and I remember plenty of Dodger fans wanting him fired, the way he managed this postseason with limited pitching, I mean, they've got like 6 starting pitchers hurt. Dustin May, out. Bobby Miller, out. Clayton Kershaw, out. Yamamoto was out till the playoffs came back. Like, Walker Buehler hasn't been good all year because he's recovering from Tommy John, but he came back and did his thing when they needed him to. But here's a fun story for you. August 1st trade deadline. They acquired. The problem with the Dodgers was they didn't have a lot of versatility in terms of their infield. They had Mookie Betts playing shortstop at one point this season. So they made a trade with the Cardinals to get Tommy Edman. It was a 3-team trade. Eric Fetty, the starting pitcher from the White Sox, went there. Prospects went to the White Sox. Tommy Edman went to the Dodgers. Tommy Edman had not played a single game in the regular season until he was traded to the Dodgers. He did not play a game till August. He only played 37 games this year, hit .237. In the playoffs, Tommy Edman in 15 games in the postseason hit .339 with a .367 on base percentage, a .903 OPS, 2 home runs, 5 doubles, 13 runs batted in, 10 runs scored, 5 stolen bases, and won the NLCS MVP. Now tell me that is not talk about Mr. Step Up there. Kike Hernandez, who, again, was solid, hit .229 during the regular season, hit .277 with a .780 OPS, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs for the Dodgers.
Wow.
They got contributions from everybody. So for the people that want to say it was all Ohtani, they would have still won the World Series, in my opinion, without him. They're just that good of a damn team. And I'm sure they're going to be back stronger next year. They're going to be in the bidding for Juan Soto, which I don't want to see. But,
oh, man. Can you imagine?
Now, that's the real good question now for the team that the Dodgers beat, the Yankees. What's next for them? Which, by the way, just want to announce something. Next time you'll see Hitting Home will be December, because I will be coming on here for a winter meetings show. Because that's like Christmas to me. Georgie, no offense. Yeah, I got to agree with Georgie. When the Yankees lose, America's happy. But now, do I think Juan Soto stays with the Yankees? Quite frankly, I can't confidently say that. Because it is really rare in baseball for a 26-year-old to be on his third team in baseball already. Juan Soto is going to be on his fourth team since 2022.
Wow.
And that's because the only thing he thinks about is how many Benjamins he's going to be putting in his pocket every day. He won a World Series with the Nationals, traded. Went to the Padres for a year and a half. They told him they weren't going to sign him, traded. Then he now he's with the Yankees, and his first line after being, we can both agree, the Yankees are one of the most storied teams of all time. They're one of the pinnacles of baseball, right? You can hate them all you want, but you'd love to have 27 championships. You're part of that culture. You just lost the World Series. And the first thing out of your mouth was, well, all 32 teams are ready to bid. That tells me you're not worried about the Yankees.
Not looking for, I don't even know if he's worried about a championship.
He's not. And the prediction already is that he is going to get something north of $700 million.
Wow.
So I think Juan Soto will be in one of these four places next year. He will either be a Dodger, a Yankee, a Philly, or a Met. Those are the teams I see bidding for Juan Soto next year. And if I had to guess, I say he will be a Dodger. Baseball's going to be the most hated thing again. But I like when baseball is hated. For some reason,
money that goes around in baseball. These contracts are insane.
Yeah, and the problem with baseball is there is no cap. It's just a luxury tax that these owners don't mind paying.
Oh, yeah, because they're raking in billions.
Dude, Shohei Ohtani's going to make $700 million after his contract's up. Remember, he deferred his contract to the back end, so the Dodgers could win now. That's why Juan Soto doesn't care about that crap.
He wants his money now.
Of course. Georgie, I do see it. I 100%. The Phillies are going to be in the thick of this, too. He's got a relationship with Kevin Long, their hitting coach. He's been teammates with Bryce Harper. He won the World Series with Trey Turner. But the Phillies have more things to worry about than just freaking Juan Soto. Trust me, Juan Soto's not my freaking thing. The Free World Bicycle Podcast saying, what up, fellas? What's going on?
What's going on?
But yeah, I think Juan Soto to me is going to be a Dodger or a Yankee. I want to say the Mets, but if they do that, then that means no more Pete Alonso. And I really don't think that's good. Pete Alonso is the heart and soul of the Mets. I don't think they're going to give him up like that. Bring back Ed Griffey Jr. One of my favorite players of all time that never won a World Series because he could never stay healthy. But yes, that is my prediction. Juan Soto will be either a Dodger or a Yankee. Would I love to see him at Philly? Abso-freaking-lutely. I would be ecstatic. But the Phillies have a lot of things to work on. They need multiple bullpen arms. They need starting pitching help. And as of today, Alec Bohm, Brandon Marsh, and Nick Castellanos are being brought up in trade talk. Now, if Marsh or Castellanos are traded before Soto signs, you best believe I think we're getting Juan Soto then. And don't get me wrong. You think Juan Soto and Aaron Judge were scary. Wait till you see Juan Soto and Bryce Harper. That's not even comparable. Because I'll tell you now, Aaron Judge is great, but that was not a good postseason for him. Nope. You can't be and Orlando says this to me every day, you can't be the captain of the Yankees and perform like that. When you say you're the captain, you got to perform like one. I will give some guys credit, though, for the Yankees. Giancarlo Stanton, what a postseason he had. He really settled down those Yankees demons that he's had.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was sad. Ken Griffey was just so great, and every time he just never got that chance to get to a World Series. Plus, again, he could never stay healthy. But he still somehow ended up with 600 home runs. But, yep, this will be the last hitting home till December, and then I'll be back on for a winter meeting show. I don't know if it's going to be before the meetings, after, or during. because I could do 3 straight shows on the winter meetings. That's like Christmas. That's when all the free agents are signing. The week-long event they have in a warm hotel in a warm state. The freaking best time of year. So I will be on for Hitting Home at some point in December. But I would like to thank a few people for this. I know it's not going away forever, but, baseball is going to be slowing down now. I want to thank everybody who's always watched Hitting Home, who always supported the segment. And I want to thank my pal Georgie from the Dueling Aces, not only for making me this Hitting Home background, he's also made Tyler from the pitch background. Georgie's also come on to do a couple extra Hitting Home episodes here on 609 with me, and those shows are always fun. They're always good fun with talking baseball with George. I want to thank Georgie for that. And I've had a lot of fun doing Hitting Home this year when it comes to baseball. I've had a lot of fun doing it. And I mean, look, the one thing I'm known for, look at the bat on my wall. I'm the baseball guy. And I try to cover Major League Baseball to the best of my abilities. But I think my prediction here is fair. Dodgers earned this World Series. They did not buy it. They did not get handed it. They won it. They took it from the Yankees and everybody else. And for the people that say it's bad for baseball, then maybe your team should maybe try to get better.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of sports last time I checked.
Yep. Get better. Just win.
But bookmark this episode and remember this. When Juan Soto signs with the Dodgers, Yankees, Phillies, or Mets, I call it a first. That is the 4 teams I see him going to. Maybe. Just maybe. I don't even know if there's another team I could throw in this mix. I mean, he's not going to go back to the Padres. They've already gotten rid of him once.
Orioles?
They will spend... yeah, I really do. The Yankees wouldn't like that. One team that I don't see because I don't think they have the spot for him, but the one team I would never want to see him with is the frickin'... Could you imagine the Braves?
Oh.
I don't want to see that. But no, I'm confidently comfortable saying it's going to be either the Dodgers, Phillies, Yankees, or Mets. They have the biggest money. They have the top 4 payrolls in baseball. Those are the teams I could see him go to. And I think it's going to be the Yankees or the Dodgers. The Mets, maybe, but I think the Mets are better off just sticking with Pete Alonso. Pete Alonso is the heart and soul of that Mets team, and I don't want to see him go. And in terms of the Phillies, I think they need more help pitching-wise. I could see the Phillies getting involved in the closer market because there's a lot of closers that are probably going to get traded. Devin Williams, Ryan Heasley, Mason Miller. All I'll say is the Phillies have both Carlos Estevez and Jeff Hoffman as free agents, and I see them both leaving because I think the Phillies are going to upgrade from both. And it's hard because Jeff Hoffman's been good for 2 years. But that is this week's edition of Hitting Home. Thank you, everybody who's made this segment fun every week, and we'll see you back for Hitting Home in December. But now, back to reality. Tyler, do you have anything else you would like to bring up before we say goodbye?
One thing. Let's go Bucks. I hope they upset the Chiefs tonight. I'm waiting for the Chiefs to finally lose. I hope the referees are under close scrutiny. I hope they don't throw any, any win the game flags.
Oh, no, not the win the game flag.
Oh, yeah. There should be a couple of losses on the Chiefs' record, but the NFL wasn't having it.
Yeah. And all I'll say is, Chase McLaughlin, 1 field goal, baby. That's all I need tonight. In other words, that's going to wrap up another fun-filled episode of 609 Sports Talk. 2 hours and 43 minutes on this episode. Thank you all for joining us tonight. You guys are the reason these shows go this long. Because if it weren't for the comments and all the love you guys show in the chat, Tyler would be on here for, a half hour?
Yep.
If it weren't for you guys, all those comments, all those great conversation pieces you bring up, we wouldn't have this chat, wouldn't have these shows. So thank you all. And now, once again, also, can everybody get off my back now? Look at this wall. I've got so much stuff on here, I can't even sleep at night because it just stares me in the eyes now. I hope everybody's happy. The wall is done. Now you can leave me alone, Dennis. But that's going to wrap up tonight's episode. We hope everybody enjoyed. Thank you all so much for tuning in with us tonight. And also, we want to thank you guys because of all your love and support. Last week was the most viewed episode since the return of 609 Sports Talk. 3.1 thousand views from last week. Thank you all so very much for that, because if it weren't for you guys, that's not possible. That is the most viewed show we've had since coming back. And we want to thank every last one of you who watched our show last week and who watches our show consistently week by week. We love every single one of you, and we greatly appreciate it. So everyone, have a safe rest of your time this week. Enjoy the rest of your Monday night. Enjoy college basketball, because that's kicking off tonight. I'm going to watch Villanova probably lose by 5, because that's how my night's going to go. And Chase McLaughlin's going to go 0 for 5 for field goals. So that's how my night's probably going to go. But everyone, have a safe rest of your Monday. Thank you all for joining us tonight, and we'll see you guys back here next week. For Tyler Adams, I'm Sam Nelson. Good night, everybody.